For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize.
Why is there confusion here when in his prior statement he said, I had inappropriate messages with a minor? Why is he confused here when before he was so sure? Why would he delete that prior statement? Now, if you've seen my coverage of Doc, some of this stuff will be repeat, but I think it's important that we go over all of it and get it all out there on the table because I don't want this idea to be propagating that DrDisrespect is, telling the truth now, or he's a good guy, or he's innocent or something like that. I think that's completely, but I'm going to try to avoid insulting anybody who does think that. I'm going to try to instead go through all the information we have, and then I'll come to my conclusion, okay? I'd like to tell you guys a story today. One of the greatest stories I've ever covered in my short time here in this world, okay? It's a story about lies. It's a story about sexual impropriety. It's a story about complete delusion. It's a story about corruption, bad journalism, and it's a story about threatened lawsuits. Lawsuits that are not going to happen. But I don't think you guys really know how deep this goes. I don't think the average person knows how deep the DrDisrespect story truly goes, because it goes deeper than you could ever imagine. It's a story about a gooner who can't stop gooning. He refuses to take accountability for his gooning, and not only that, I'm the one who's going to hold him accountable. As the head of the Stop Gooning movement, I will do what needs to be done. All right, chat? I will do what needs to be done. So let's get into it, all right? Right after I check all the super chats and stuff that I got to get to. My bad about the spam is cleaning my monitor and press the keyboard. That's okay. But Smaggle might ban you. You never know. I can't promise you anything. Smaggle is ruthless. He is absolutely ruthless, okay? The fact so many Docs fans take his word as gospel and lying is a thing, that is interesting, but I want to get into why maybe they're willing to take his word as gospel, apart from the fact that they like him. But I think it's time to start with the most important stuff, okay? This situation, this story, frankly, needs a hero. And I am here to be that hero, okay? I'm the hero that Gotham City, I'm the hero that YouTube City needs, but not the one it deserves, okay? So let's go through it all. The allegations concerning DrDisrespect were said to be a closed case. He admitted to having inappropriate interactions with a minor, right? Well, recently, Doc has returned with a response stream that seeks to repair his reputation with his fan base. Not only that, he's threatened to sue journalists who talk about the situation, claiming he has not been slandered and defamed. Today, I aim to go through the entire background of the case and Doc's career to determine if Doc could be innocent. All right, we've got a lot to talk about. Background. The origin of the DrDisrespect character traces back to the early 2000s. While studying for a degree in business administration, Guy would spend his free time playing Halo, a game he found himself to be very good at. Despite being pretty shy in person, he would often take advantage of the game's proximity voice chat where he would trash talk other players in the lobby. And this guy is funny. You can't deny it, okay? I love his I love his shit from back in the day. Here's him on the H3 podcast talking about his character.
It is a very...
Let's turn the volume up a little bit, my bad.
I get the sense that the Edward Norton character of your life is very different than the Brad Pitt character of your life. Is that true?
Absolutely. Yeah. Boom. Bing. Right on the button.
Okay. Do you think that like the Doc character that you develop makes you the Edward Norton part of you more confident, much as it did in Fight Club?
No. I'm actually pretty... I'm actually pretty shy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty shy. I stay to myself. I'm pretty shy.
That's incredible.
I don't like the limelight. I don't like being in front of cameras. I don't like taking pictures. It's the exact opposite.
Which is really interesting because Doc would go on games, he would go on streams, and if you know anything of his character, he's a very boisterous guy, right? He's a very boisterous, outgoing dude. That's very, funny to his credit. I like Doc. I even like the corny outfit. I like the shit he does. I think he is a captivating dude. I've never been a big fan of his streams, but when I have seen him, I've been like, that's really cool. Just place an order. Do you ever plan on going to Bulgaria, your Romanian cousin? I mean, maybe. I've been there before, but it's been a while. I'll probably go back at some point. My family has property there, so perhaps. Thank you, Nash, for becoming a member. So Doc was a shy guy, but, he would get on live stream. He would get on video games, and he would be a very funny dude, and people liked him. Many who had the fortune of loading into a lobby with Guy would find his bombastic persona endearing, and Guy would become well known in the community under his gamer tag Diarrhea Panic. This is his real name during this point in time. So he was a very base poop maxing individual back then. Okay. Now a friend of his would suggest turning his in-game antics into something greater, and as a result, he renamed himself to DrDisrespect. He went to a store and he purchased the iconic glasses we all know and love, which is in here.
And so that day I went to the store and, picked out the black steel, aka the bulletproof mullet.
I was asking you backstage. This is the second wig, or let's say implant. Can we say that?
Yeah. Let's just talk about implant.
This is the second version 2.
Version 2, yeah.
That's impressive that it's lasted you that long.
Yeah.
How long's that implant been around?
7 years.
Wow.
No.
So he went to the store, picked out a wig, picked out the mustache and sunglasses, and he decided to start streaming and making YouTube videos. Now, a funny little anecdote during this time that I do want to bring up, which is just kind of a personal thing that I know, is that, well, not that I'm the only one who knows, but it is kind of a funny anecdote, is there's this band, okay? There's this band that I like called Avenged Sevenfold. They're kind of a early 2000s metal band, kind of went into the area of more of a hard rock type thing later on, butt rock, so to speak. I like all their stuff. But Doc was actually a part of the Avenged Sevenfold sort of community back in the day before he was really a part of the mainstream. He was just a guy that they would play games with.
Here at Avenged Sevenfold, I'm, I don't know how old I was, but I'm playing Madden 2004. Mm-hmm. And,
I want to get the timestamp for this, actually. Fucking hell. Why are the timestamps not working? Hold on. Here we go.
Play that every night. And one of our guys, it was me and our whole crew, and then with DrDisrespect, we would play before he was DrDisrespect, like Guy.
No shit.
And he had this like YouTube channel and he was starting. We'd love his videos. We're laughing about it, but we would play game battles every night for years. And then he went on.
know this.
I know, it's crazy. And so me and Guy are still really close because it's like, it's awesome to watch for him. So he's awesome. Yeah. And so, but we would play game battles. And then what I loved about PUBG was once you went back into the
So Doc kind of started out as just like an Xbox guy people liked. He, made some interesting connections. And he's maintained some of those connections to this day. I don't know how M Shadows feels about him now, obviously, but Doc has been at, multiple of their concerts and stuff like that. If you look up DrDisrespect Avenged Sevenfold, you can see him hanging out with them backstage and stuff like that 12 years ago. So he was, he was a known guy. And he was just kind of a silly guy for a bit that you would hop on Xbox and you might find him, or hop on PlayStation, you might find him in a lobby and he'd shit talk you, right? But eventually he decided to start taking YouTube seriously, and he uploaded his first video titled DrDisrespect Gaming, the Doc's very first video. And here it is. You can see right from the start, he had his sort of persona on lock that he was doing, right? He had this funny character he was doing. He had a cinematic kind of aspect to his stuff where he was, I'd say, a lot more high production value, high effort than a lot of people. And this is something that he maintains to this day with the streams.
People've got to understand. You got to attack, but don't get in mistake. Certain individuals you don't attack.
And he was playing a character, right? This wasn't just him on stream. He would play a character, and he would go kind of in and out of it, as many people who play a character for a long amount of time do. But predominantly, he was playing this like silly character of like kind of an 80s inspired guy who took gaming super seriously. He would always talk about how he's like the Blockbuster World Champion, shit like that, and he was a really entertaining guy. In a time when gaming commentary videos were reaching their peak, Doc managed to make a name for himself, standing out above his peers with his gameplay, iconic trash talk, and satirical intro monologues, which he made a lot of. And these are really funny to this day. He had the silly epic intro. He would shit talk people.
187, and you're gonna bleed real quick. Okay, Boom, you're one. Where's your brother at? Oh yeah, there he is too. I know you guys had a sister. 3. That's a triple kill.
And he was good at games, and he was really funny doing it. So there's a reason why, the guy was really well known, I would say. Appreciate the lore. No problem, bro. Glad you like it. Doing character for that long has to be so boring. It might be for him, but I think for the viewers, they find it really entertaining. I don't think they really give a shit because he is, a really entertaining dude. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. In small doses, I think he's really funny. I personally, like I said, I was not really watching him when he was big on Twitch. I wasn't a huge Twitch viewer. I'm still not. I've never been a huge stream viewer outside of a few very, a select number of streamers who do like drama stuff and I guess Destiny, obviously. But yeah, anyhow. Only 4 months after his first upload, he would amass over 7,000 subscribers, which is a pretty big deal, in my opinion. Most YouTubers take a long time to get to even 1,000 subscribers, right? I personally, when I was starting YouTube, I think it took me at least 2 years to get to 7,000 subscribers, I want to say. Maybe a year and a half more. Like, I think after a year of taking it seriously, I might have had 1,000. Then after another year, I might have had 13,000. But this is really impressive, right? 4 months. He gets 7,000 subs. Clearly, the guy has something special. And at the time, YouTube gaming was kind of a different thing to what it is today. Historically, on YouTube gaming, you couldn't get partnered if you were a gaming channel. It just wasn't a possibility. You had to go through an MCN, like a network, like Machinima, and that's exactly what he did. And he was able to monetize his career. But at the time, he also had other career aspirations going on. He was actually in the gaming industry. Thank you, Nerve 2005, for becoming a member. And he would take a step back from his 50,000 subscriber channel, which we do have an archive of here. We'll see if it loads. Web archive is super fucked. We'll see. We'll leave that there. But he would take a step back from his channel because he wanted to take his real, quote unquote, career more seriously. And being a YouTuber back when he was doing this shit, back pre-2010, wasn't even really a thing that most people believed you could do. Making careers as a YouTuber, there were only a few people that had done it. So he got a job at Sledgehammer Games, which is one of the developers for Call of Duty. He was the community manager for COD Modern Warfare 3. And you can see an article right here about him. Sledgehammer Games welcomes new community manager Guy Beam. And this is literally him. We're pleased to officially announce Guy Beam as our community manager for Sledgehammer Games, said Glenn Schofield, CEO. Guy's a perfect fit for the studio. He's a hardcore Call of Duty gamer with a background in marketing management and is the mind behind the online personality DrDisrespect. It's important to know we hired Guy for his knowledge, skills, and passion for games. We hired Guy. We did not hire DrDisrespect. They make sure to note here, right? He said, I'm extremely honored to be part of such a talented group of game makers. It's a dream job to join this team, and I thank Glenn and Michael for giving me such a great opportunity. So he left and got, a serious job in the games industry. As a result, he left behind his 50,000 subscriber YouTube channel, but he was okay with that because he's probably getting paid pretty well by this massive AAA game studio. So he's fine with that. But he would still upload here and there. He would upload videos to his YouTube channel. He still kind of had a passion for it, but it just wasn't a full-time thing, right? Until 2015, which is not even that long ago if you think about it now. If you count the years, 9 years ago, seems like a long time ago, but 2015 is a year I remember pretty vividly. It was a time when content was a lot edgier. It was a time when Filthy Frank, Leafy, Pyrocynical, okay, people like that were getting big on YouTube. And over on the Twitch side of things, people were also, getting relatively edgy. You had people like Ice Poseidon getting big at the time. I believe Mizkif was just barely starting out. So it was a very different landscape. Is Boblex still spurring about the King of Nothing stuff, or has he finally realized he's wrong? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I saw the stream from Chud Logic with Nick on it, but to be honest, I didn't really read super into it. I was just like, whatever. I don't really care about Boblex or what he's doing right now. But anyhow, Doc would return in 2015, and he made an official return to the character, okay? Official return to the persona, and this is his video. You see he's got this epic Spider-Man Marvel type intro. Once again, much higher production quality than most people at the time were doing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm DrDisrespect. And as you know, we've been away from the YouTube community.
He got a nice camera. He's got a cool little green screen setup. As this guy says, he's ahead of his time. He really was,
For quite a while now, but I'm here to tell you I'm back, and I ain't messing around. You see, you guys understand the type of content that arrives on my YouTube channel. Well, it's gonna be coming back on a weekly basis. On top of that, we'll be live streaming. In fact, we've already started, so you might be late to the party. We'll be live streaming on my Twitch.tv channel.
Looks like a me, kind of. But Doc made an official comeback to streaming. He had a cool character. He had a funny persona, and there was a reason to watch him. And there were, already fans of his YouTube channel. There were 50,000 people subbed to his channel that were anticipating him coming back because he was a very unique guy. And he also was kind of a holdover from a different age of gaming, when people used to play characters a lot more. This is around the same time period that Keemstar was, doing was his his gamer group. He looks like that because he's Turkish. Is he Turkish? I kind of doubt he is. But Keemstar was, doing his character at the time, before Doc left, and Doc came back and he was like, a part of this new landscape, but he was kind of a holdover from the way that the old community was. And people loved him. People loved him for it. They flocked to his YouTube channel, and he began a consistent streaming schedule in early 2016, which is not too long after this. This is in March of 2016. And he was playing H1Z1 and PUBG, which were big games at the time. The Battle Royale stuff was really starting off at this point in time. Now, by November of 2016, he amassed 95,000 followers on Twitch, which is a pretty big deal. This is quite a few followers. You can see this is his lifetime followers, but, he's really big now. But at the time, he had 95,000 followers, which is a pretty big deal, within how long of starting streaming? Only a few months, right? From March to November, he had 95,000 followers. That's a huge deal. And exactly 1 year later, this number grew to over 1 million, which is fucking massive. That is a giant come up on Twitch, right? For someone to come from a normal AAA job in the gaming industry to then come to Twitch, returning to, a kind of dead YouTube channel, right? Obviously, people were still waiting around for his stuff, but he wasn't super active. To come back to that and to be one of the biggest streamers in the world within a year is crazy. He was averaging 30,000 live viewers per stream. And as a result, he was recognized at the Streamer Awards, where he appears somewhat drunk in this speech. You got to get a little tipsy when reaching accomplishments. But he got Streamer of the Year within like a year of streaming. It's crazy. And here we have all the nominations they're going to go through. And this is the moment when Guy officially wins.
I think, whoa, who the f*** are you, you f***ing weirdo?
DrDisrespect. Edwin Castro 1021 Castro.
You could even hear when they announced him, there were people cheering in the background for him to win.
Okay, so the winner is... DrDisrespect.
You can even tell how far streaming has come since then, because the Streamer Awards has way more people there now and a much more, professional setup, I would say. Everybody congratulated him. He goes up on stage.
First of all, we got to appreciate the Esports Industry Awards tonight. Round of applause. Esports. Yeah. Industry Awards. I'm going to make this quick. I hate to stand up here 6'8". 6'8". 37-inch vertical leap. Woo!
And he's still in character, when he's accepting the award. He's boasting about his accomplishments and his, I guess, genetic accomplishment of being really tall.
Google prototype scopes, built-in LCD LDT 280p Sony technology. I don't want to get into it. But I got to appreciate Nurse Disrespect over there, standing over there. She's somewhere over there, looking so damn good.
Says thanks to his wife.
I got to appreciate, last but not least, I get a lot of messages, DMs, emails, whispers.
There she is.
Text messages.
Whispers, he says.
Letting me know that I've transformed their lives. There's a lot of people that deal with suicide, that deal with hardships in their lives, deal with people that have fought in the war, people that are dealing with cancer. And I get a lot of messages via emails, whatever it is. And one thing, when I started my channel, I had no idea what I was getting into. It was just having a good time. Let's just do our thing. But a year and a half later, I realized a lot of things. I realized I've provided an outlet for a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of hardships.
So now he's drunk, but he does seem to be sincerely accepting this award. He connects with the audience. He sees people who are dealing with a lot of stuff, and he feels bad for them. He wants to, talk about their struggles and stuff like that. And he's thankful that his content can help people through a dark time, right? So he's on top of the world, right? Within one fucking year, he won. And he was more than just your average live streamer, right? It wasn't just his gameplay. His persona was a huge deal. He, as he did there, he constantly referenced the fact that he had a 37-inch vertical leap, blockbuster video game world champion, right? If you go here, this video is called Proof Doc Didn't Win. I don't know if he did or didn't win, but regardless of that, it was a part of his brand. I don't think whether he actually won or not is really that important. But you know what? I think what is important is that he didn't take himself too seriously, right? He was eccentric, he was silly, but he wasn't like too deep into the character, right? And he would pair himself being in character with occasional moments of vulnerability where he would, really break down to the audience how he was feeling about them, about his career. And it was easy to find him to be likable because even through the persona, you could see who he was as a person.
Well, I appreciate you being in the arena, especially on a Friday. We're the champs. We get a little crazy. We get a little psychotic.
And he had this super high production setup as well, right? Streamers typically don't do this. If you look at any of the biggest streamers from the time, they don't have a green screen. They don't have any of this cool branding. They just have like a very simple, I'd say relatively low effort setup, right? Look at like all I have is a green screen, right? I don't have any of this epic branding. Like he was putting a lot of effort into this shit. And back then on Twitch, most of the stuff that people had was just, a chat and a camera, no green screen, just a camera on your face. And that was it, right? No production quality whatsoever. And he really upped the standard for that kind of stuff. And his silly trash talk, his silly side hustle had now become his full-time career. He didn't need to work for anyone else. He didn't need to be working for Sledgehammer. He didn't need to rely on anyone else for income. He had made it as a content creator officially. And not only that, within 1 year, he had become one of the biggest streamers ever. One of the biggest streamers ever. But that didn't mean that everything was fine behind the scenes, because on December 14th, 2017, DrDisrespect would reveal to his audience that he had cheated on his wife. He went live. It was a very odd stream. He's not in character, and he made this confession.
Hey, guys.
You can see people in chat are confused. What's going on?
Kind of have a little bit of...
Someone in chat said he looks like Freddie Mercury. He actually does.
A little bit of an announcement. And I just want to be completely transparent with you guys. As you guys know, I have a beautiful family and a wife and kid. And I want to be transparent that I've been unfaithful. And I'm probably going to be taking some time off to focus on stupid fucking mistakes, man. I'm going to take time off to focus on my family. And so I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I apologize to you guys and Slick Daddy. I apologize to you guys, my sponsors and Twitch. And this is not who I am. It's not what I represent. And... that's it.
And he ended the stream and he left, and that was it. Now, I don't personally care that he cheated on his wife. I literally don't give a shit. It's not my problem. That's between him and his wife, as far as I'm concerned. Cheating based, but no, I just don't care. I don't give a fuck. But his audience is very attached to him as a person. And they connected with this moment because he was being very vulnerable on stream. He was being very open with the fact that he had made a mistake. We can speculate as to why he made that mistake. Maybe it's because, you blow up on Twitch for the first time, right? You're getting a lot of attention on you. You get a lot of female attention, and all of a sudden you just can't resist it, right? Who knows what the fuck it was? But whatever the case, he cheated on his wife. He felt bad for it. He wanted to tell his audience, and he dipped. He completely dipped. Ever since I stopped watching your vids, I became normal, have friends, a boyfriend, good grades, and go to the gym and box. Well, congrats. I think that's a good case for why people should watch my videos even more, if you ask me, but that's good to hear. Yeah, I saw a Femboy Fucker. It used to be in my chat a lot. I saw you sent me a DM about that on Instagram. I didn't respond because I didn't know what the fuck I was supposed to say. But yeah, good for you. That's nice to hear. Anyhow. This revelation about what happened was met with overwhelming support from his audience. People really respected the fact that he had decided to come out and be honest about this. This is a post from the DrDisrespect live subreddit from Shadowblade. Shadowblade, very epic name. He says, obviously a lot of you are confused. Unfortunately, we don't know how long Doc will be gone for. This sucks for everyone involved, and most importantly, his family. I want the subreddit to serve as a place for his community to come together and discuss, amongst other things, while he is away. More importantly, to share your favorite moments of Doc, who has a community to come back to when the time is right. If you're coming here to troll or to be misled, if you're coming here to troll or mislead, you'll be banned. And here we have a lot of, people talking about how they feel bad for him, but also how they don't think he did a nice thing, but they respect the fact that he's owning up to what he did, right? Never in my life have I been surrounded by so many people who have never made a mistake in their lives. And this is in response to, people who are shitting on him for this, right? Double chunk chocolate blumpkin based. That sounds pretty good to me. Brett is here, says, this news has affected me more than I'd like to admit. Not because I'm a huge fan of the doc, which I am. I'm also his age. I'm 36. I have a wife and 2 kids. The thought of having all that threatened due to my stupidity and reckless behavior makes me feel sick. I have such sympathy for what his family and he is going through. This is about as big and grave as it gets for marriage. I think about him lifting his daughter up while streaming and wishing her a happy birthday. I picture a happy family that now has to carry the weight of the potential demise on its shoulders. I think about how absolutely meteoric his rise has been over the last 12 months, where he thought his career would be, all of the work he was putting into his job, the awards he received over the last few months, the new endorsements. It had to have been really, really looking up for him and his family. Then this atomic bomb gets dropped right in the middle. I don't know how this gets rebuilt. It's just sad. I don't hold up much hope for the return of the Doc. How do you return with such a macho persona after something like this? How do you call yourself the 2-time and ignore the stink that surrounds that phrase? Do you just read donation messages as they come in? The internet will be cruel to him, as I've already seen. I'm not an apologist, but I also don't know the real story. I'll save my judgment for another day. In the meantime, I'm just sad over what could have been. He was truly unique. I don't watch streamers, but I watch the Doc. So people, they were worried about how this may go for his career, but they were still supportive of him. They wanted him to have a community to come back to when he did return. But there was no doubt there were going to be a lot of jokes about this kind of thing, right? Will you be talking about the Rizzler and Baby Gronk drama? Of course. That's a huge, huge thing to go over in this stream. We'll be getting real into that. Do you think Doc is a gooner or an edger? I would say gooner, but we can decide on that by the end of this stream, okay? Many also questioned his motives for making this information public, though. Some thought that maybe he revealed it to get ahead of someone else making it public first. Because, obviously if somebody makes an allegation about him cheating, it looks worse than if he were to just respond on his own. But personally, once again, I don't really give a shit that he cheated on his wife. It's not my problem. Hello, Carly. Hello, Mr. Tom of Dark. What's up? What's up? Regardless, we didn't get the finer details of what happened here. We still don't exactly know, who he cheated on his wife with. I think there's a lot of speculation surrounding that now. I don't think it's really important if that is connected to this situation, though. Through tears, as we saw, he talked about how he needed to take time away from streaming. He needed to focus on his family. And he did just that. He left for a little bit. I don't watch streamers. I watch Tom Dark. Base. Thank you, Big Rod, for the dono. But he would actually return 2 months later in February of 2018. And his return was not insignificant at all. This is his return. Hi, Energy. Excited to be here. And this was a huge fucking stream. This was a huge stream. He had 200,000 live viewers for this entire stream. Okay, concurrently. 200,000 people watching him. That is nuts. He had a huge return. He was back. He was making money. He had a big audience again. He was doing really well overall. He was doing really, really well. It seemed like these allegations didn't have a major stop on his career. If anything, the fact that he left made people miss him more. And when he came back, it was a huge story. So his career was on, once again, an upward trajectory. Now, obviously, that didn't mean that everything was just fine at this point, right? People did joke about the cheating scandal. They would bait him a lot into reading donations about this shit, which are pretty funny. You can see the guy, if you didn't catch that, he was eliminated by Disrespect My Wife. He was getting trolled a lot with this kind of shit, right? And he would be provoked by players in voice chat to respond to the situation. People were just messing with him, right? Because now they had some dirt on him.
Get Punk, welcome, Son of Kong. Thank you for the $8. Says, hey, Doc, thanks for being an inspiration. You have inspired me to live life the way I want to. Thank you. I have been with 4 different women in the last month. The wife's not happy, but what can I say? Keep being it. All right, thank you for the $8. Triple Egg, thank you for the $3. Doc, where's the switchblade comb? Oh, let's check it out.
You can see people were fucking with him a lot, but he didn't really care. I mean, why would he care, right? He made a mistake. He owned up to it publicly. His wife was still with him. He still got the kids. And on top of that, his career was doing really well. So why would this even be a huge deal, right? Whatever. The trolling was funny, but he was fine, right? There's no reason to not watch his stuff past this point. It's not anybody's problem that he cheated on someone, especially someone you don't know, Thank you, Neon, for becoming a member. HS Lord says, stay gooning. Oh, we will. Actually, no, we won't. Fuck. The merch has stopped. The merch has stopped. He would get stream sniped every day, but it was whatever, right? And obviously, as that guy in the Reddit post said, the 2-time jokes would be rolling in because he called himself the 2-time champion, and people would now be, calling him the 2-timer on his wife, 2-time champion of cheating on his wife. But he wasn't going anywhere. He remained committed to his intense streaming schedule, and his notoriety only continued to go up, okay? Again and again and again, he would crush milestones. And he would stay out of trouble, for the most part. Now, there was one notable occurrence during a live stream on September 11th, 2018, where during a game of Warzone, loud bangs could be heard coming from outside of his home. He left to investigate, only to return, and he said that someone had shot his house. And this is a clip of it happening.
Okay. Yeah. No. Peek that left side. That's all I ask.
Sit rep. Circle collapse imminent. Get to safety. Supply drop inbound.
God damn it, dude. I didn't even see this guy.
You can see how big he is. He has a Gillette sponsorship for the Razor company right down there.
Lost.
This guy's right in the middle of the open, between all the warehouses.
And he is cracked at COD, by the way. He's really good. Tom, I became an official member. Can you timestamp your logo on my forehead? Yeah, I'll do that real soon.
Oh, man, just not finishing.
He hears something. You can see, hear that popping? He hears something. He gets up, leaves for a second, and he ends up coming back with a wig off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta fucking end I've got to end the broadcast right now. Someone shot at our house, broke the fucking upstairs window. This is the second shot. Someone shot yesterday at our fucking house. And someone shot again right now and connected with the house upstairs, right? You're driving by, right? You pussy! I gotta stop the
So you can see he said his house got shot at. He seemed very concerned, and obviously this is not something he deserved. Now, it's unknown who this person is or why they did it, but it would later be claimed and seemingly confirmed by the police that it was a BB gun and not a real gun. But, you know, still a concerning thing when you got kids in the house. You don't want somebody shooting fucking BB guns at your house. Even if there's not kids in the house, you don't want that, but obviously it makes things a little more concerning, right? But as it turns out, Doc is no stranger to breaking the law. And this is kind of a funny moment. This would become a bit of a meme at the time. But it is worth bringing up, I think. So on June 12th, 2019, Doc attended E3, which, as you guys all know, is like a big gaming expo. Every gaming company shows off their new games and stuff like that. They make announcements as to, you know, new DLC, new developments for consoles, hardware, stuff like that. He streamed himself walking through the event, meeting up with fans. He was a very popular guy, as you can imagine, at this event. It's kind of hard to miss him, obviously. But he would also stream himself walking into the bathroom, and he would end up filming himself walking into a public urinal. This is him in the bathroom. Live streaming him in the bathroom. And during this stream, he would be suspended from Twitch temporarily and have his event pass taken away. You know, technically there's no rules in Twitch TOS against filming in a public bathroom, but there is a law against it. I would guess it's not in TOS because Twitch just didn't expect this kind of thing to happen. They don't usually expect someone to be IRL streaming inside of a public bathroom. And this also violates California law, which is where E3 was taking place, which says you can't film people without their consent in a place where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy, which obviously that includes a bathroom. Right? You don't expect someone to be coming in while you're pissing in the fucking bathroom and filming IRL streaming, right? You might see someone's dick, you know, 37-inch vertical stream based. You might see someone's dick. You might see him there, you know, looking at someone's dick. There's also a really funny picture where he's looking over the stall, which I'll pull up here. This picture is pretty legendary, I would say, you know, despite whatever controversy this started. And, you know, I think there's a lot to criticize him for here. This is a pretty funny image, right? It's pretty based. I like it. And so as a result, he got banned temporarily on Twitch. Now, he did get unbanned eventually. He returned to streaming, and he didn't have controversy for another year. He would also win the Streamer of the Year award in 2019. You know, two-time champion, proving the fact that he is the two-time champion. But this bathroom filming controversy wouldn't be the last time he was banned on Twitch at all. And it seemed like just as he was at the peak of his popularity, things got kind of dark for him. Things got kind of dark. In the early hours of June 26, 2020, Doc would broadcast on Twitch for the last time. While no re-uploads of the stream exist online, Doc's final moments were archived. Towards the end of the stream, we see Doc take out his phone and read a text message, and he gets very, very nervous. Hey, you Nathaniel B? I don't know who that is, but I'm going to go with yes, I am Nathaniel B. This is his final moments on Twitch.
Giant rocket under the map in between Park and downtown. Yo, Doc, put Dolby Atmos on you so you can fix your audio.
Yes, they left. Wow, good job.
Thanks.
Alrighty then. Okay, let's see what map we get next. I didn't really get to see you up there. Were you on the top of the statue?
I was on top of the knight.
This is where he seemingly realizes something's going on. Plays this.
That wouldn't be bad. Let's see. I have a 9.09% chance. 10% chance.
He looks off.
Oh, it's gonna be.
He looks surprised and
You
concerned.
for sure.
It's getting close. It's getting close.
Okay. See you later. Good luck finding us. Bye. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Oh no.
Ton, 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 ton.
You guys are taunting her. I did not taunt her this time. Let's go. Can you hide? Can you hide in the garbage can? I didn't notice the garbage can underneath the desk. Oh, wait. Everyone keeps leaving.
Okay.
Okay, guys, stop leaving.
They really don't like being it.
I guess not.
Amber.
I like being it. Pick
Don't
me.
ever make me
Pick
it. I never want to be it. No.
I know.
David Icke.
No, bad. No.
I ordered his book too.
No, bad.
Oh, the backyard. The backyard.
Oh, okay.
Okay, who's it?
I appreciate everyone watching
Who's
today.
it in the backyard? Who is going to be looking?
We'll get
Yeah,
we'll get through this Champions Club. I know it's a tough. Life's weird right now. We'll we'll get through this, okay? And
Dun dun dun. You better not taunt me. How dare you?
You can see he's really he's having a hard time. Also, sorry, I had to get my coat real quick. I was feeling a little bit chilly. Okay, a little bit chilly. Had to get my Green Beret swag. Thank you, Charm SR, for becoming a member.
You get to try.
And he just ends the stream like that. He ends the stream. So it's very it's a very confusing moment, right? It's kind of hard to tell what the fuck's going on there. We don't know what was in that message, but you know, we can kind of assume that it was something about him being banned from Twitch, right? Are you converting to the Bulgarian Orthodox Church? Y'all got on that right away. Just 1 minute prior to this moment, he stated his intentions of ending the stream, only to change his mind and express his desire to go on, probably hoping to savor his final moments on this platform. He tried to keep going. Now, he did recommend a documentary at this point called Renegade. It's a documentary that details the life of David Icke. If you guys don't know who David Icke is, he's a pretty interesting dude if you want to look into his history. He's a big conspiracy theorist guy. He believes that a lot of politicians are reptilians. If you hear about the reptilian memes, right, about how Obama's a reptilian, it probably comes from David Icke. This guy has also been, you know, censored, I'd say, for his views. Some would say by the Matrix, by the deep state, right? He's also, you know, he's gained a lot of infamy for his beliefs around climate change, 9/11, like I said, interdimensional reptiles, government corruption, stuff like that. Now, while this could be pure coincidence that he recommended this, I think it's probably not. I think it's probably Doc is a fan of this dude in some way. Based on his talks about Shungite, which is another thing I believe David Icke is a fan of. Based his conversations about Shungite. I think Doc is probably, at some level, kind of a conspiracy nut. Which is kind of a funny addition to his lore. But what he's getting at here seems to be that much like David Icke, he is being attacked by the deep state. He's being attacked by the powers that be. He's being censored, and he doesn't deserve it. Okay, he doesn't deserve it. Here he is talking about Shungite, this rock.
anyways, I bought a whole bunch of
We're using cool mint zins today. Thank you for asking.
Shungite rocks. Do you know what Shungite is? Anybody know what Shungite is? No, not Sugnite. I think he's locked up in prison. Talking Shungite. Anyways. It's a 2 billion year old like rock stone that protects against frequencies and unwanted frequencies that may be traveling in the air. That's my story. I bought a whole bunch of stuff, put them around.
No, this is around the time that 5G was a big talking point for conspiracy guys. People were like knocking down 5G towers. So you can kind of infer that maybe Doc is paranoid about 5G and he thought that it was permeating him, but the Shungite is going to protect him. But whatever the case, Doc ended his stream by saying, "We'll get through this." And that was it. The stream ends abruptly. Now, that same day, the streamer band's Twitter account officially announced that Doc was banned. This is just the account people look to see whenever someone's banned on Twitch. If you go here, you see Leo Techmaker's been banned. Chu Soro has been banned, however you say that. Toko Reviews has been banned. Common Coolment W True. But Doc was officially banned based on this account at 3:01 p.m. on June 26th of 2020. And Twitch is notoriously bad with communication and telling people why they're banned. So there was a lot of conspiracy and speculation around why this would have happened. But we would get one take from someone named Slasher. Now, Slasher, or Rod Breslau, is an esports journalist. He's pretty well known in the esports scene. At the time, he was viewed pretty favorably. Nowadays, I would say not so much, but at the time, he said that he had some information. He said, sources, Doc has been permanently banned from Twitch. Sources, it is not a DMCA. So people were really curious about what's going on here. And Twitch would then address the decision through a CNN reporter named Shannon Liao, stating, "As is our process, we take appropriate action when we have evidence that a streamer is acting in violation of our community guidelines or terms of service. These apply to all streamers regardless of status or prominence in the community." So, through CNN, Twitch said, "As is our process, we take appropriate action when we have evidence that a streamer is acting in violation of our community guidelines or terms of service. These apply to all streamers regardless of status or prominence in the community." But they didn't say what he actually did, which left a lot of questions. Now, we do know that they did refund his subscribers, which is a very unconventional thing that doesn't usually happen to other band streamers. So they start refunding these people for some fucking reason. They're treating this differently than other bands. And around the same time, he also starts losing a bunch of sponsorships. One of them is Razer, one of them is Game Fuel, another one is Discord. They all decide to revoke their partnership agreements with him. Now, we didn't know why. It could have been because he just didn't have as big a streaming platform. It could have been because they knew more about the situation. But what is really interesting is that Razer and Game Fuel would almost instantly restate their ad campaigns with him. And these events only further, I would say, serve to stoke the flames of controversy and also make people question, like, what the fuck is going on here, right? Why the fuck is Doc banned? I was super curious at the time. Where's the Galaxy gas in the back? We can't do that on stream, obviously. Thanks for the 2 Kiwi. But there was no definitive statement about why he was banned, right? Either from Twitch, either from Doc. There was none. People just didn't know what the fuck was going on. Now, his wife would comment on the situation in an Instagram post, which is very vague, but here's what she said. Mrs. Assassin says, the outpouring of love, support, strength, and kindness from the arena has truly been overwhelming. You all have made my heart full, and I cannot thank you enough. No one better out there than the community, content creators, community, whatever. You guys are amazing. Champions Club actually is what this stands for. Tom has a bad haircut. Lol. Tom bad haircut. L. True. You guys are amazing. Much love to you all. So the Champions Club, they're thanking the Champions Club, okay? Thank God. Now, a notable moment of all the elements here is that no official reason was ever given, as I said. And as a result, there was a lot of speculation as to what was happening at the time.
This week, one of the biggest streamers in the world, DrDisrespect, was suddenly permanently banned from Twitch with no explanation from Twitch as to the cause, which has led the internet on this fucking wild goose chase trying to piece together the puzzle and figure out what got him banned and what it was.
They wanted to know what the fuck was going on, and they demanded an explanation from Twitch.
Yeah, so
in regards to what was actually happening here. Here's Asmongold talking about it from the time. Let me get that timestamp.
Jesus, man, like, what the fuck? Doc liked Trump's tweet, it's the only explanation. It has nothing to do with political things. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, fucking Shungite. Like, it's just, that's so dumb. I'm sorry, but it's so dumb. This might be the biggest stunt in live streaming history. Wasn't he supposed to be taking about something about Hollywood and next level before his supposed check the phone moment? Was he pulling off a Fortnite-style announcement for his show? I don't think so. I feel like if they did that, people would feel like they were manipulated.
So people were just like super confused as to what the fuck was going on here. And every streamer was reacting to it at the time as well. Every single streamer was reacting, and they seemingly had no real definitive explanation. Even his friends, people who collab with him, like Tim the Tap Man, didn't know what was going on.
I don't know. Like, well, this is almost an example, right, of their ban system. It's like Doc gets banned, he doesn't even know why, right? And so then everyone's just like, what's going on?
Yeah, like if Doc doesn't even know why he's banned, and people are announcing that he's permanently banned before he even realized that they're permanently banned, is the most fucked system I've ever seen.
They're confused. They're very confused. Here's Destiny talking about it as well, as far as his take and his confusion around what happened.
Dan is implying that Dr.
Not implying anything.
Might have fucked a minor.
I did not say that. I meant the Better Business Bureau obviously might have an issue with him, and that took, that's possible. Better Business Bureau is a very powerful organization, and
so this is from when he was banned. This is from June 27th of 2020, and there was no proof of anything, but it is interesting that Dan seemingly is saying this. I don't know who he talked to or where he got that info from. Now, one Reddit user also commented on some of the more prominent theories. Here we have a post. This is on the Out of the Loop subreddit with someone speculating as to the various possibilities. He says, answer, it's an ongoing situation, so it's currently not known why he's banned. He himself hasn't put out comment yet, and neither has Twitch. So at this time, it's hard to know. Some people believe he might have had undisclosed advertising or sponsorship contracts that have been found out. Some people believe if he was advertising sponsored products without disclosing that he was a paid sponsor, that would be an FCC violation and could be one possible reason why he was banned. Others have speculated that it might be a morality issue clause. He's had issues with the past, including accusations of racism, and he also plainly got caught cheating on his wife. All of this is currently hearsay, though. It's possible we'll never know the reason if he chooses to never explain it. So people are like, what the fuck's going on here, right? There's no clear explanation, and none of these are, even close to what the truth would ultimately be, apart from what Dan said. I don't know where he got that. I don't know if that was pure speculation or if he had some info. One thing we all know for sure is that someone isn't being truthful. Who? I'm not sure. We'll get into that. But as it turns out, even the man himself seemingly was unsure as to why he was removed. The following day, he released a public statement on the ban, and here's what he said. This is from June 27th of 2020. This has 350,000 likes. He said, Champions Club, Twitch has not notified me on the specific reason behind their decision. Firm handshakes to all for the support during this difficult time. DrDisrespect. And this firm handshakes thing would ultimately be a big meme. Here, Mizkif is promoting a stream saying, yell, I'm live. Here, XQC says God mode. Here, Zach Asmongold says, This is literally cock and ball torture. Holy shit. Can someone please explain what's going on? Deller gives a sad face. Ian Miles Chung says, take care, man. Gives an update when you can. Esfond says, Miskiff is live. Check him out. So people just didn't know what the fuck was going on. They didn't know what was going on. Seemingly, Doc didn't either. Why are they always like he was texting a minor, but even worse, he said the N-word? Like, what? Well, that's not what's being said here. In fairness, at the time, nobody knew what the fuck was going on, so they were just guessing as to why maybe he was banned. But I don't think Doc said the N-word. I think he just makes fun of Chinese people, which is funny. But everything was super, super cryptic, and it was a big mystery. And there were a lot of videos coming out at the time of people speculating about maybe what went on, but none of them were, really close to the theories regarding what was, none of their theories were really close to the truth with what we know now regarding what actually happened. But we do know one thing. Seemingly whatever Doc had done had outweighed Twitch's wishes to have him on the platform as a guy who was making them undoubtedly millions of dollars a year. He was not someone they wanted to keep around for some reason. So Doc took a little break from streaming, but he did give an interview with PC Gamer on July 16th, where he talked about why he was banned. PC Gamer. It's been almost 3 weeks since you were banned from Twitch. I imagine this has been very frustrating. I would love to start with just hearing what's been happening behind the scenes with you. What's been going on? Here he says, sure, a lot of stuff. While it's unfortunate I'm off Twitch, we're definitely working behind the scenes on what a return might look like. In terms of specifics around that, we're not interested in exclusive at this point. We're exploring our options and honestly, just can't wait to get back into character. We have a lot to do and I'll be wherever fans want me to be. That's been my approach. So he's not interested in some kind of exclusive contract or anything like that, right? They're asking about his various business connections and stuff like that. Here they're asking about Twitch cutting off contact, and he says he's been cut from any Twitch contact entirely, right? Here they say, are you able to confirm legal actions taking place? You're taking legal action against Twitch. Here he says, we're considering taking legal action. Here the interviewer asks, when do you think you might be, if ever, have a definitive answer as to the reason you were banned? And here he says, honestly, we don't know. They speculate on if he's, because he's a controversial guy, that might be the cause. Here they ask about 5G stuff. They say, you've been open recently and sharing some of your own thoughts about coronavirus relating to things like 5G networks. Even in your last stream, you were talking about David Icke and his documentary. I'm curious in bringing up those thoughts, and I think it's okay to call them controversial. Did that ever result in Twitch saying anything to you or warning you? Here he said, no. Here this interviewer said, so you don't think that might be the cause? And here he says, no, I don't think so. And Beam's publicist here says, we're getting really close to dangerous territory here. So, Doc, we don't know why Twitch banned him, and there's no formal warnings or reprimand on record. That's all legal is going to let him say. And here they say, I have one more question that's semi-related, because there's also this current climate of people coming forward with stories of sexual harassment and abuse in the games industry. Twitch has recently banned several streamers who have been outed as sexual harassers, abusers, and otherwise toxic individuals. To your knowledge, is your Twitch ban the result of someone alleging you harassed, abused, or assaulted them in any way? And here he said, listen, I'm not interested in engaging crazy speculation. I've seen all the theories, I've seen all the possible conspiracies, and it's just like, I'm not interested in engaging that type of stuff. I have a great community of loyal fans, and I'm totally focused on getting back and delivering great, entertaining content, and that's where the focus is at. And this is a weird way to respond to this specific thing, in my opinion. I don't know what he knew at the time versus what he didn't know. But it is weird that in response to everything else, he said, no, it's not the case. No, it's not the case. And with this one, he was like, look, I don't want to talk about crazy speculation, right? It's kind of a weird way to respond to that specific thing, but maybe we shouldn't read into that too much, right? Maybe he genuinely didn't know anything. Maybe I'm being retarded here. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions and maybe it's crazy speculation, right? Now, it is worth mentioning that the thing that this interviewer is talking about here is that there was a big wave of sexual misconduct allegations levied at a ton of live streamers at the time. And this issue would boil over and trigger a response from Twitch themselves, who would form an incident response team codenamed Gold Sparrow, which is a very funny name. And this also coincided with a public response from Twitch, which read, we take accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct extremely seriously. We're actively looking into the accounts concerning streamers affiliated with Twitch and will work with law enforcement where applicable. We're thankful for the bravery shown by those who have come forward to speak about their experiences, and we're committed to working to make the streaming community safer for everyone. Now, this is published on the 21st of June, which is 5 days before Doc was permanently banned. In hindsight, a lot of people think these were connected, but we don't really know if this Operation Gold Sparrow was involved at all or if it had anything to do with it, right? Now, there was one guy still talking about this stuff, and that is the aforementioned Rod Breslau, or Slasher. And he claimed to know the reason Doc was banned, but he wouldn't say it for some reason. He said, for several hours, I've been told from credible sources the reason Dr. Disrespect has been banned. However, due to the importance and sensitivity around the subject, I've refrained from going into it. I don't feel comfortable with it currently, so he won't talk about it. And we have a lot of people in the comments being like, well, what the fuck? How did you even get this? Here, this guy, JHB Team, says, are you comfortable yet? Here, this guy says, seems really odd. All these people have info from credible sources, but conveniently choose to not actually say said info. Here we have Too Mad with a Joker from Suicide Squad gif. Don't really know why he decided to put that there, but Kind of a funny addition. Rest in peace, I guess. Now, Slasher would also go on various podcasts. He went on Hassan Piker's show. He went on the Scuff podcast hosted by Trainwrecks, where he didn't really give a lot of info. He was very weird about it.
Yo.
This is his appearance. He didn't really give a lot of new info here. He went on Scuffed, hosted by Train. Let me pull up this timestamp real quick.
Side of trust and safety.
Saying legal dealt with it.
Trust and safety is the one that, deal ban system within the.
And here he is talking to some of the biggest people on Twitch, right? Destiny's there. Devin Nash is there. Trihex is there. Ape or Trainwrecks is there. Amaranth is there.
Twitch.
I think this is, I don't know if this is Alex or Andrea Botez. I don't know which one this is, but she's a big chess streamer, I believe.
And this was not a decision that, it was given to them. This was made outside of trust and safety.
He says it was made outside trust and safety.
And it is not DMCA.
It is not DMCA, but he won't say the specific reason. He won't say what actually happened here, okay? Now, these appearances were obviously very underwhelming and very confusing at the time. Why this guy could not just reveal what it was. If he was telling the truth, it had to be something super serious for him not to talk about it. And if it wasn't serious, then why the fuck won't he say it, right? What's going on here? And this frustrated a lot of people. People were shitting on him. They were like, bro, just fucking say what happened. Say what fucking happened. And this behavior caused Slasher to be labeled as a clout chaser, and many, including Destiny, believed he didn't actually know anything at all about what the fuck was going on with this situation at all. Here we have Jake Lucky talking about this.
Ready? Okay, here's the only hot take I'll give you for stream. Okay. Yeah. Not only do I not know, nobody claiming to know publicly right now knows either.
Really?
Yes.
That includes
100%.
Slasher?
Yes, 100%.
Do you think he's just farming content?
Yep, 100%.
That's kind of depressing.
He's going to message me later. He's going to get mad at me. And then he's not, but I know for a fact he doesn't. I do.
Wait, how do you know for a fact if you don't know what it is?
Wait, mute for 1 second.
Okay, hold.
So that's what's going on there. People are shitting on Slasher, calling him a clout chaser. One day I was walking in the woods of Mexico. I turned on my flashlight and a guy was taking a shit in the street. There was corn. Thank you very much for sharing that with me. I do appreciate that. But Doc would make a return to Twitch regardless. He posted a teaser to his account on Twitter. Then he went silent. And then on the 6th of August, he announced he would be going live at his YouTube channel, where he would be live for the foreseeable future. And this comeback, much like the last one, got a lot of attention, but over double the amount of attention. This comeback to YouTube had 500,000 concurrent viewers in attendance. People were enamored by the controversy. They were shocked by the fact they didn't have an explanation. They wanted an explanation. And they also just were fans of Doc. He wanted to see what he was doing. And he had a huge amount of people looking through his shit. Hello, Tom. I'm Prophet of D's, and I bring you the nut of the day, cashews. That is all. Goodbye. Thank you very much for that. Don't know. But Doc came back. Obviously, a lot of people were asking for explanations as to why, in this 500,000 fucking viewer stream. And he still said he hadn't been given any reason as to why. He wouldn't give any real definitive comment on what was going on.
It's been absolutely amazing. It's from Mrs. Assassin and the 2-time back-to-back. That's me. It's hard to put into words, man. And I appreciate all that. In regards to the ban, there's a lot of people that want to know what happened. Why did you get banned? Guess what? I want you to look me in my fucking eyes when I say this.
Look me in the eyes.
You're not looking me in my eyes. Hold on.
I am.
Okay.
I am.
I really want you to look me in my eyes. Okay? I really want you to look me in my eyes.
Another pair.
When I say this, we still have no idea. We have no idea. Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm not buying that one. Bunch of phonies. We have no idea.
So that's it. You can see down there, 500,000 people watching this live. Fucking crazy. Quixotic for 2 says, you look very edgeable today. Thanks. What's your least favorite race of people? White people, obviously. White people suck. He also said this caused him a lot of anxiety over being left in the dark. He didn't know what the fuck was going on, seemingly. And, one of the biggest internet mysteries. He didn't know. Nobody else, knew. Anybody who did know, being Slasher, wouldn't fucking talk about it. And that was it. That was it for years. That was the only explanation. Now, the only update we would get regarding this was years later, okay? Years later after his comeback. Here on Twitter, he would give this very vague statement. He would say, moving on. I resolved my legal dispute with Twitch. No party admits to any wrongdoing, which is weird, which is really weird, right? Because if there wasn't any wrongdoing from Doc, why was he banned? And if there was wrongdoing from Twitch, then also why was he banned, right? This doesn't really make sense. Why would both parties admit to no wrongdoing if Doc was banned? Like, seemingly there was some reason they decided to ban him.
What do you mean by that?
And he still wouldn't talk about it. Seemingly he was beholden to some kind of legal thing going on, some kind of NDA from their entire dispute, right? And he got banned and he wouldn't talk about it. And we didn't get any further updates until June 21st of 2024, okay? That is, as of me recording this, that is 3 months ago, basically. Well, like 2 months, 2.5 months, right? Thanks for streaming. Get that bag. Thank you. I appreciate it, bro. I'm trying my best. We didn't get any updates, though, until 2024, when we got this very vague tweet from someone named Cody Connors. And he didn't even name Doc in this, but this mysterious tweet would quickly make the rounds, where he says he got banned because he got caught sexting a minor in the then-existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read it in plain text. Case closed, gang. Sexting a minor is what he says in the then-existing Twitch Whispers. Now, Twitch Whispers is basically a private messaging service that they had at the time. I think they still have it. Essentially what it is you could pick someone out from your chat. You could choose to privately message that one individual, and you could have a conversation with them in DMs on Twitch. And that's what happened here, seemingly. He had some kind of Twitch Whispers conversation, but Cody Connors alleges this with literally no proof, right? Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy to say this? He has literally no proof. And he didn't even say Doc's name, but people pretty quickly figured out who he was talking about, given that Doc is the most high-profile ban of all time on Twitch. They kind of could, you know, put the pieces together and figure out who he was talking about. And Cody also was an ex-Twitch employee, so he seemingly would have some kind of knowledge of this, right? But regardless of that, there was no proof, right? So this is just a crazy allegation. And, you know, as a result, it was met with a lot of backlash of people asking for proof. This guy said, we need sources of information. Who is this about? Hootie here says, where's the proof? This guy says, you can't say this with no evidence, which I agree with. Bad Boy Beeman says, show receipts. Shellnut says, the evidence surely will be brought forward, Cody, right? Because this is a crazy allegation to make about anyone with no proof, right? It seems completely retarded. Now, Doc would obviously see this, but he chose not to respond for the time being because it doesn't even mention him. Why would he respond, right? Why would he respond to this? But someone that did signal boost this shit was Jake Lucky. Now, Jake Lucky's kind of an esports journalist type guy. You would probably put him in the same camp as like Keemstar and Scarce, right? Scarce back in the day. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarce here. And he would report on a lot of this stuff. And on Twitter, he said a former Twitch employee has come forward and stated the alleged reason for DrDisrespect's ban for sexting a minor in the previous Twitch Whispers product. Now, once again, we didn't have any confirmation from this at the time at all. We had no idea what was even going on here. And Doc would respond, and his response left people very curious, right? Because essentially he's being accused of being a pedophile here. He's being accused of sexting a minor. And Doc just says, Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract. Now, typically when you're accused of being a pedophile or sexting a minor and you didn't do it, your response is going to be, no, I did not do that, right? And if he didn't do it, then he wouldn't even be under any kind of legal obligation from Twitch to, you know, not say what he didn't do. Because if he didn't do it, it wouldn't be even relevant to this lawsuit, right? If he wasn't found guilty, he could talk about it, right? You can say, I didn't do that. You can legally say that. There's no NDA that protects you from saying, I did not sex a fucking kid. So they found his response weird, but this didn't mean he was guilty because we still didn't have any proof. We didn't really have Doc's full side. And to go a little deeper into the analysis, him saying no wrongdoing was acknowledged was really weird because it seems to be a way of kind of telling the truth, right? Being like, no wrongdoing was acknowledged. But at the same time, he's not denying the validity of the statement itself for the allegation. Another interesting aspect was Doc's claim that he was brought out of his contract. He was bought out of his contract, right? With this settlement, right? It was settled. They paid out his whole contract, which we didn't know at we didn't know at the time that happened, right? We didn't know. So this meant that likely part of the legal dispute being resolved was some kind of monetary settlement that awarded him the remainder of his Twitch contract, but still kept him off of Twitch for whatever reason. For whatever reason, he was kept off Twitch. And these two pieces of info painted a very weird picture, I would say, somewhat damning in a lot of people's eyes. Many people believe this was an indirect admission of guilt, with the added context that Twitch still chose to pay out his contract despite that. Now, Doc would further elaborate the next day, saying, listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, and I just need to say what I can since this is the fucking internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All of this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found. I was paid out. Elden Ring Monday. So here he's being more definitive, but he's still being kind of vague, right? Because once again, he's refusing to say whether the allegations were true, whether there were any allegations. He's just saying, I didn't do anything legally wrong, right? No wrongdoing was found. I didn't do anything legally wrong. And even if, you know, in regards to the NDA settlement, it's reasonable to assume that he would have the ability to deny false allegations that have no relation to the NDA itself, like I said, right? For example, if Doc was permanently banned for failure to disclose sponsors, he would be able to address the nature of those practices. He would be unable to address the nature of those practices, right? But if someone falsely alleged that Doc did something, right? If they say, you know, if Cody Connors has said Doc is banned for murder and he didn't do it, he would be allowed to say, regardless of what happened in the settlement, he'd be allowed to say, I didn't murder anyone. He would be allowed to say that, right? That makes sense. But he's still using this weird legal speak, kind of implying that he can't talk about it because of the settlement. But at the same time, he's not denying the allegations, which is very weird. Non-disclosure agreements are designed to ensure that sensitive info is not permitted to be revealed to the public, right? So like, let's say I'm doing some kind of video and I don't want news about it to get out before it comes out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, you're my contractor, you're an editor for me, you have to sign this NDA that says you won't release information about the video before it comes out so I can protect my business, right? An NDA does not prevent you from responding to allegations that are false, right? If a false allegation is made, you can talk about that. So while Doc may not be able to disclose the exact reason for his ban, you know, if it's unrelated to this stuff, he would be able to dismiss false info, right? That wouldn't fall under the umbrella of an NDA. And considering the nature of his statement, public opinion quickly began to change, not in his favor, because he once again was unwilling to dismiss the supposedly unrelated allegation directly head on and just say, I didn't sex a minor, I didn't do this, I'm not a pedo, right? Thanks for the monthly EBT handout. You're welcome, bro. Do you think any of the Sam Hyde being a PDF file making CP allegations hold any weight? I'm not totally sure. I've seen a lot of, you know, I've seen that picture of him and that girl floating around a lot. I've, you know, looked into it a little bit. It seems to me like whoever that girl is, she has not made any public testimony on whatever happened there, and if she even was underage. I did see that Lieutenant Corbus video about it, which definitely didn't look good. For sure, but you know, it's hard for me to say exactly what went down with that. So yeah, I'm kind of I don't really know. I've seen the allegations. I don't really know what exactly is going on there. Can you refund this? I'm broke. Yeah, I'll get right on that. Say the word spooky, I'll crash out and Doc's chatty streaming. I think you're banned unless you're or I think you can't chat unless you've been around as a subscriber for more than like 13 months. So I think you can't even chat unless you're like a big fan of him, basically. And those people obviously aren't going to even talk about this shit, right? Now, Doc does claim that nothing illegal happened here, which could be the case, but this wouldn't dismiss the merit of the allegations. The age of consent in many states is 16 years old, and so while there may be no legal ramifications for engaging sexually with someone of that age, there's still the overwhelming social standard that doing so is unethical and exploitative. It's also worth mentioning that laws relating to online sexual relations are even more inconsistent and vague in terms of age and stuff like that, right? And this also draws into question the claim that he didn't do anything wrong. If he's using the standard of legality to support this, then he may actually have a case. He may have never done anything legally wrong. But if the allegations are true, it's hard to believe that he wouldn't find this behavior to be a poor decision at the very least. And obviously, you know, I think that just because somebody is legally in the right or not able to be held legally accountable, that doesn't mean that that person is still a good person or that is something good, right? Chris Tyson, to this day, has never been found legally liable, legally accountable for anything that they've done. And I'm still completely, you know, on the camp that Chris Tyson is a groomer despite that, right? Just because Chris wasn't legally charged doesn't mean anything to me. Doesn't fucking mean anything to me. You know, you can still be a creep. You can still be, let's take the most extreme word, pedophile. You could be a pedophile and not be legally charged, right? That does happen. And as a result, his statement left a lot more questions than answers. And as a result, it was kind of pivotal in shifting the narrative regarding these allegations. A lot of people were like, well, why won't Doc just fucking deny it, right? What the fuck is going on? People didn't know what the fuck was happening. They didn't know what was happening. Now, Penguin Zero at the time made a video about this where he talked about what was going on. And he just said, you know, I don't know what's happening, basically.
Some questions we may never know the answer to. What happens when we die?
What's up, Isaiah? We're talking about Doc.
Came before the Big Bang? Why am I so short? Why did DrDisrespect get banned from Twitch at the height of his popularity in 2020? DrDisrespect was the face of Twitch, one of the largest streamers on the platform and one of the largest streamers just in general in the world. And out of nowhere, in 2020, he received a permanent ban with no elaboration from Twitch's side nor his. Though he has been somewhat vocal about suing Twitch as a result of getting banned, but he's never explained what the ban was for in the first place. So it's always just been this mystery that's plagued the minds of scholars for the last...
And even at this point, this is before Doc's final statement, right? This is before Doc's final statement.
4 years. A mystery on par with Area 51. And now, last night, there was a new development in this situation. Now, I want to be very clear, these are still allegations here, but a former Twitch employee on a random Friday night just came out and dropped a fucking bombshell.
So here he is speculating about Cody Connors. He doesn't really know what's going on. And at the time, a lot of people were feeling public pressure, including Doc's friends. Now, Doc has a few big, you know, streamer friends. One of them that I think is worth mentioning here is going to be Nick Merckx. Now, you guys have probably heard of Nick Merckx. He's a very controversial COD streamer. A lot of people don't like him because he's kind of a right-wing dude. He has talked about how he doesn't believe in transgenderism, stuff like that. So that's definitely one controversial part of him. Tim the Tatman is another collaborator with Doc, right? He's not nearly as controversial as Nick Merckx, but he's still a very big COD streamer. And he's huge on Twitch, right? Stop Wendigooning. True! Isaiah needs to stop, bro. He's a piece of shit. I mean, just like cheating, it may not be illegal, but it sure as hell makes you a shitty guy. I wonder who did that as well. I mean, I would say this is not... I don't really care about someone cheating. I care about someone messaging a minor inappropriately. I don't think those are on the same tier, right? Like someone cheating is like, okay, that's bad. That's infidelity. You disrespect your wife. But at the very least, the person you're disrespecting is an adult, right? Like a minor cannot consent. So I would not put that on the same tier. Like if you're having sexual interactions with a minor, that's far worse. But anyhow, his friends were feeling pressured to make statements about this. And Nick Merckx would end up making this statement, which is made in the most Nick Merckx way he possibly could do it. He's outside with no shirt on, walking around, which is what everyone seemingly does for these silly statements. And he also he opens it by talking about the they thems.
Yo, checking in. Look, I open Twitter, bunch of my mentions are he, they, she, hey, they, fucking. I identify as a helicopter. God damn it.
I identify as a helicopter. God damn it.
And I seen the couple tweets about the doc. I'm as taken back as a lot of you guys are, okay? But the fact remains that these are some crazy accusations. Crazy, big-time accusations. And until we know more, until we know them as fact, until they've been proven with evidence, what are we talking about? What's anybody talking about? As far as the leave little kids alone stuff, this doesn't make it any further from the truth. Leave little children out of your shit. Have a nice day.
So, responds in a very Nick Merckx way, right? Shitting on the they thems, the she hers, right? The Emily BLMs of the world, base moment. But he also, seemingly didn't know what was going on with the allegations. He was very confused as to what was going on. Now, in the midst of these streamers, talking about this shit, why is he always shirtless? Ask him, man. I don't know. There's a genre of guy that seemingly is always shirtless outside in their yard when this kind of shit goes down. I don't know why that is, but it is what's going on. But the situation was far from over, okay? This wasn't the end of things. This is a point when a lot of Doc's partnerships began to fall through, and he had a lot of big sponsors. Turtle Beach, which you guys probably know from making their, silly COD headphones everybody wanted back in the day, right, in 2014. They drop them. They sever ties, okay? We have an article here, which is Turtle Beach and Gaming International Superstar Dr. Disrespect unleashed the Stealth Gamer Gen 2 Max limited wireless headset, okay? This is back when Doc was doing this partnership. That partnership was dropped. NBA 2K drops a partnership with him, which is a huge sponsorship to have, right? He had his likeness in the game, okay? And they established their intention to remove him from the next patch release as a result of these allegations. The San Francisco 49ers, as Nick Diorio would say, the 40 Miners, who allowed Doc to make an appearance at the 2022 NFL Draft, which, from what I understand, based on my conversations with football heads, is a big deal.
Time for him to announce
DrDisrespect,
the San Francisco 49ers' latest selection.
Yeah.
They love him.
With the 93rd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Tyrion Davis-Price, running back, LSU.
He literally announced for a professional football team the people they were bringing on the roster. Okay, which is crazy. So he had a huge connection there. They dropped him. Now Game Fuel, which is a Mountain Dew energy drink brand, they also dropped him. They also were like, we're done with this guy. Okay, they're cutting ties. Now First Watch, which is a developer of a third-person shooter, they dropped him. Okay, they removed their $20 skin of Doc from the game and offered refunds for anyone who purchased it. Your boy Fargoth5 says if kids can consent to puberty blockers, they can consent to the Doc disrespecting them. Penguin Zero? Okay, base. This particular decision sparked a lot of controversy as the refunds would only be given in their in-game currency instead of actual money. But that's besides the point, right? That's besides the point. All these people dropped partnerships with him. And, you can make the claim that these people didn't actually know what was going on and they just dropped him because of the bad association with the allegations, right? They didn't know how things were going to go. I think that's probably fair to say. I don't know that these partnerships knew what was going on. It's possible they reached out to Twitch behind the scenes and got some information, but considering Twitch's unwillingness seemingly to comment on any of this shit, it's more likely, I think, that they just saw the controversy going down. They were like, we don't want to be associated with this. Now, Doc would boot up a live stream on the 24th of June around 10:30, and around 3 hours and 11 minutes, he would look down at his phone. His demeanor would suddenly change. He looked very distraught. As these allegations were coming out. He was still trying to push through and stream and do his job, but he looked like he was having a really hard time. Here he is playing Elden Ring. We're going to skip to 3:11, the last 10 minutes or so of the stream.
What about quest lines? I know, but you know how we run things here.
And this music, by the way, is just the Elden Ring music. Nobody else added this. But this music playing at this point in time is really, really funny. It's so foreboding. It's so dark. Given what was being revealed, it's like fucking... It's like perfect timing. It's like biblical timing. It's crazy. Sorry, my phrasing was off. I wasn't trying to say cheating and PDFs are on the same tier. I was just trying to compare how some things may not be legal, but they're definitely immoral. Okay, gotcha. He gets a text. He tries to shoulder on, but you can tell he's uncomfortable with what's happening.
Waves, Mana, welcome back. Welcome to the Champions Club. Jesse, appreciate the $50 donation. Only streamer I've ever donated to. Thank you for the 50. Cameron Hartley, thank you for the 5. How come you have a cupcake but not me? Thank you for the 5. How we
cupcake reference base
feeling, Doc? Says Roy.
He knows it's over. It seems like he knew something bad was happening for sure. He knew something really bad was happening.
I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued.
Fatigued?
Feeling a little fatigued.
Little fatigued.
We came in here, champs.
We came in here.
We came in here. High energy.
High energy, chat. We're coming in high energy.
High energy. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just feeling fatigued. Right? Feeling a little burnt out. But I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you guys showing up. But I am serious when I say I'm feeling a little fatigued. You know?
He's having a hard time. He's having a really bad time right now. Social media is getting to him.
When shit like this happens over the weekend, and it just kind of... It's like, how many times can I... I don't... Like, I'm actually tired of being on social media. And I've expressed that over the years, champs. So I just, you know... I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? Go live in Costa Rica or something.
Go live in Costa Rica. Why is he going to Costa Rica? Why would you need to go to Costa Rica, right? Why is he's implying he might flee the country? Is this like a character bit? What's going on here?
I don't know. But I'm just feeling burnt out, I think. You know?
He's feeling burnt out. As soon as these allegations come out, he's burnt out.
No, I came into this with... When did we start streaming, champs? 2015? 16? Been doing this since 2009, you know? Different scene back then. Having a good time. Playing the games that were fun to interact with and create content with. And over the years, it's just gotten... I don't know, like it's been drained out of me. It's been drained out of me.
It's been drained out of him. What's being drained out? What liquid's being drained out?
It's being drained out of my family and I. And I just feel like, you know, I had the mindset of let's just see what happens today. How are we feeling?
Age of consent in Costa Rica is 15. Is it actually? I don't even want to look that up. I don't want that on my history. Just check Costa Rica. Age of consent is 15. That's based. I have a long-winded question and don't want to interrupt your stream. Do you have a Discord server for viewers? No.
And I'll
email me, and if it's worthy of a response, I'll respond. turkeytimebusiness@yahoo.com.
Tell ya, I just I don't know. I'm just feeling burnt out. You know, maybe it's time to start something new, something different.
So he was having a really bad time, a really, really bad time. And at the very end of the stream, he would say that he was stepping away from Midnight Society, which is a gaming studio that he is a big part of. He helped develop. It's his fucking gaming studio, right? This is his shit. It's got his branding all over it. He founded it in 2021. He announced he was stepping away from it for some reason.
Either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but you know, maybe I step away from there too. Just completely remove myself from the scene. It's what I need to do. I mean, right? Champs, take all the time you need, says Layer Cake. I appreciate that.
So he's having a weird time. He's having a weird time. He's in a weird mood, right? And he's stepping away from his gaming company venture. Now, he's claimed he planned to inform the team working at the studio of this decision, but it seemed like he wasn't entirely honest in saying this. It seems like someone in the situation is lying, and that's because shortly after his stream would go dark, the Midnight Society Twitter account would post the following message, okay? And this message has a lot of parallels between what happened with Chris Tyson and Mr. Beast, where Chris Tyson's like, I'm stepping away, and then Mr. Beast is like, I made Chris step away. We're doing an investigation, right? But beyond that parallel, there is something that's more interesting here, okay? Midnight Society, they say, on Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders, Guy Beam, also known as DrDisrespect. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved. And in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we needed to act. For this reason, we're terminating our relationship with Guy Beam immediately. They say they assumed his innocence, they began looking into it, and they decided to terminate their relationship with him, right? Which is very weird. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it's our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we've employed, along with our community of players. Now here we have Actman saying, still no mention of evidence, or if you guys saw evidence, you say you talked to parties involved. Maybe the parties involved should start getting involved so we can find the truth and decide if this man is a predator or not. Barely Sociable says, assumed his innocence, then looks into it and pulled the plug. Doesn't look good. And he's right, it doesn't look good. Right? It doesn't look good. And this guy says, if DrDisrespect committed a crime, call the police. If the victim doesn't care enough, we shouldn't care either. Basing anything on the moderation policies of a social media platform is idiotic, and you know it. I've had enough of the humiliation rituals. Enough. Now, I think this is a decent point under some, certain circumstances, but I think it is worth noting here that even if Doc didn't commit a crime, there could still be something wrong that he did, right? Not everybody who's accused of a crime is convicted. And frankly, if there is reason for Midnight Society to believe that their business relationship with Doc is a bad one and they don't want to be around him, then there's no reason for them to further engage with him, right? Now, this is a more recent response, but yeah. Now, this guy says, doesn't look good. Innocent until proven guilty. Lol, Christ, you're just as dumb. But ultimately, what this is the actions of a private business, one that was associated heavily with Doc, one that he helped co-found, saying they want to step away from him, right? They want to step away from his shit, which is not only is it not a good look, it is telling. In my opinion, it's telling of what happened. Because this is a company that's received so much promotion from Doc, right? So many collaborations. It was co-founded by him. There's no reason for them to drop him unless they believe that he is genuinely a brand risk or a bad person. And they decided to drop him after looking into it, quote unquote. Now, it's unlikely they saw whatever evidence there may be, but they did seemingly speak to somebody credible, they believe, regarding these allegations and decided to drop him. Now, I also want to talk about this idea that because the victim didn't come forward, doesn't want to talk about it, that people shouldn't care. If the victim was a minor when this happened, obviously they don't want their name to be plastered all over the internet till the end of time as the guy that Doc tried to groom, allegedly, right? They don't want that to be their identity forever. So I would say the victim not caring, I don't think is really important, especially if the victim's underage. If a woman gets raped, okay, if a child gets groomed and they say, oh, well, I don't, it's fine, I forgive them. Would you say that because the victim doesn't care, that doesn't matter? No, obviously not. Children and victims typically have a hard time recognizing that something bad happened to them. They have a hard time accepting it. And children can't even grasp the consequences of actions, right? They cannot grasp the consequences of an inappropriate interaction with an adult. They don't realize it. So this argument is retarded. Anyway, regardless of that, the magnitude of this controversy cannot be overstated because not only was one of the most prominent live streamers on the internet being labeled a sexual predator, not only was he losing sponsorships and brand deals, but he was removed from his personal project that he helped create. And that, paired with the added context of this potentially explaining one of the biggest mysteries on the entire internet, catapulted the scandal far past the previous typical sexual misconduct allegation. And Doc was pushed against a wall here, right? Was there technically any evidence directly of what Doc did? No, there was not. And so at this time, I would still frame it as an allegation, right? Up until this point, I would frame this entirely as an allegation. We don't know what's going on. There's accusations being made. Companies are dropping their sponsorships. We don't know really why. In retrospect, a lot of this stuff looks a lot worse, given what Doc ended up saying. But yeah. Hi, Jonathan. Have a great day. Thank you. At this point, it was still an allegation. And everybody who had a big platform, who was watching the shit go down, was still reporting it as such, including me. I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Maybe he's guilty, maybe he's not. It doesn't look good, but he could still be innocent, right? This wouldn't be the first time that somebody has been dropped from brand deals despite their innocence. But I did find the circumstances really weird. Now, Doc, pushed against a wall, would end up releasing a statement. and he would write the following. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement. Let's cut the fucking bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. Okay, he says he's here to accept responsibility. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. He's apologizing to them for whatever controversy he managed to get them into, right? Whatever shit he got them into, he's apologizing. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families, and I never want to jeopardize the culture we've carefully crafted. So weirdly, he's saying it's a mutual decision. We've made the painful decision to have me step down. Midnight Society says they terminated it. I don't really know what's going on here. But yeah, there's a big discrepancy there, right? You can choose who you want to believe with that. Everyone is wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can tell you my side of the story. And here's where we get into the meat of it, all right? Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor in 2017? The answer is yes. That's pretty bad, chat. That's pretty bad. But he does say there were messages with an individual minor. He doesn't explain here in this line what those messages were. Here he says, were there real intentions behind those messages? The answer is absolutely not. Now, to me, using the word real intentions is really weird, okay? Because that would imply that there was some fictional or virtual intention going on that he decided not to pursue ultimately, or he never would have pursued in real life, right? This would this would indicate there's some kind of intention going on, at least in his mind at the time. He said the answer is absolutely not. He says there's no real intention behind the messages. Here he says these were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. And now he's very vague. He's very non-specific about this. It's, very strange. But this line, this part, this paragraph, this portion in and of itself was enough for most people to say, fuck off, right? And I'll also add here that I don't think the intention particularly matters, right? There can be cases where you can make exceptions for people based on if they're really close in age, stuff like that. But in this case, as far as the intention, I don't think that matters as much as the result, right? Every pedophile ever has said there was no real intentions. If you watch any episode of, Dateline NBC, To Catch a Predator, right? The guys who go there always say, well, I didn't have any real intentions. I just wanted to come here. I was just, shit talking online, right? I was just saying shit. It was all fantasy. But that is fucking retarded. If you message a minor inappropriately, the result to the minor is the same of whether you plan to do it or not, right? You're still having inappropriate interactions with a minor. And so what was once considered to be a baseless allegation from a desperate clout chaser was now confirmed by the man himself, at least partially. Doc did indeed have a sexual discussion with a minor like Cody had alleged. Now, what Cody had alleged was that there was sexting. Doc did not say there was sexting, okay? Doc did not say there was sexting. He did say there were inappropriate interactions. Here he says the doc himself didn't feel obligated, here I said, my bad. The doc himself didn't feel obligated to explain the finer details. In fact, quite the opposite. He chose to define the conversations as leaning in the direction of being inappropriate. He also defined it as mutual casual conversations, which obviously a mutual conversation with a minor, whether the minor is cool with it or not, doesn't really matter, right? They're still a minor, it's inappropriate. And so as a result, many were confused by his wording here. Some might assume this means they sexted, while others could interpret this as simply discussing topics that are inappropriate to have with someone under the age of consent. Both of these, while wrong, are vastly different in terms of moral culpability and potential for harm. If these conversations were truly well-intentioned and only became inappropriate with an occasional joke, one would think the doc would simply explain that. He would be more specific, right? Because at this point, as he acknowledges here, previously, he says, oh, I wasn't able to talk about this because of the settlement. But now I can talk about it, right? Now I can talk about it. So the question is, why wouldn't he be more specific? Why wouldn't he say exactly what happened? If he's not going to release the chat logs, why won't he at least be more specific about what was in those logs and what was said, right? At least a few choice quotes. He didn't give that for some reason. If the conversations were much more sexually charged, then Doc's framing here would be completely disingenuous. But we still haven't seen the DMs. Now, he would continue on saying nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. So here he is willing to be specific. He's willing to say, I didn't do anything illegal. I didn't share pictures. I didn't commit a crime. I never met the individual. Okay? You can choose to believe that if you want. I think that is possibly very likely. But for some reason, he's unwilling to be specific past this point. All he's willing to say is, I didn't do anything illegal, right? Which obviously legality is not the bar, typically, for morality, I don't particularly care if somebody is found legally liable or not, when in regards to judging their character. Now, obviously, if he did do something illegal, that should be prosecuted. If he didn't, that shouldn't be prosecuted. But regardless of that, if you're having inappropriate interactions with a minor, whether or not you did something illegal, you should still be held accountable, right? Technically, it's not illegal for Doc to say, hypothetically, hey, I know you're fucking 15 or whatever the fuck age you are. I want to bury my dick in you. Technically, that's not illegal. And technically, it wouldn't be illegal for him to have sex with someone who was 16 or 17, depending on the state he's in, as long as they don't cross state lines. But regardless of that, obviously, there's a moral implication here that is very bad. What's the topic? I arrived. The topic is your mother. Messages with a minor that leaned inappropriate. Who cares about bro's intentions? The thing is, speculating on his intentions doesn't even matter to me. What matters is what was in those messages and what he actually said. And the fact that he's willing to own up to this much here, but still be unspecific past the point of saying, I didn't do anything illegal, is a red flag. It's a very bad thing. And this was all the confirmation that people needed, including me, to say that he's a bad person. He says, I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Now, him saying here, I never met the individual, is interesting because Cody Connors said that he tried or planned to meet up with an individual, and Doc doesn't dispel that. He just says, I never did meet them in real life, which is very weird. The only minor I did was on the piano, Penguin Zero based. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. And as far as we know, that is true. No criminal charges were brought. He was not charged in a court. But once again, I don't think that exonerates him. No criminal charges have ever been filed against Chris Tyson. No criminal charges have been filed against a lot of YouTube groomers / pedos. And in my opinion, that doesn't particularly matter. Do I wish they were charged? Yeah. If they weren't, can I change the law? No, but I still condemn them. Every argument defending Doc depends on the best interpretation of the messages. Doc knows that, and the fact he won't show them is troubling. Yes, of course it is. Many who read this statement, like myself, found Doc's wording to be odd. Cody Connors claimed that Doc was trying to meet up with the anonymous minor, and claimed that Doc doesn't even inherently refute here. He just says that they didn't meet, which doesn't dismiss the possibility of him at least attempting to meet up with them or discussing the prospect of it. Doc also emphasizes that what he did was not illegal and there were no criminal charges against him. And this also doesn't dismiss the possibility of these conversations being sexually graphic. When presented with an allegation against himself, of the highest magnitude, Doc, instead of being specific, chose to be extremely vague in a very weird, PR type statement. On one hand, he's like, I'll tell the truth. I don't give any bullshit, right? But he still won't be specific. And as a result, this doesn't dismiss the possibility of these conversations being sexually graphic, even if nothing illegal happened. Now, Doc lives in California, where the age of consent is 18. That being said, age of consent laws in regard to sexual online communications tend to be a bit more ambiguous and hard to define, as there are no direct laws against engaging sexually with someone under the age of 18, as far as flirting with them or whatever, right? Or having some kind of sexually charged conversation. Regardless of that, regardless of the law, just because there were no criminal charges does not exonerate Doc of the allegation, and it doesn't clear him of any moral wrongdoing. It only clears him legally. And I don't think that's the only standard people should care about. Obviously, legality is not always, just because someone's charged, right? If somebody openly says, I'm a pedophile, I'm attracted to kids, you wouldn't say, oh, well, he wasn't legally charged, so it doesn't matter, right? If that person's attracted to kids, they're attracted to kids. If you want my speculation on why he made this statement, it's my opinion that he saw that leaks were happening. He saw that, there was a possibility of more information coming out, and he decided to get ahead of it without being specific because he didn't know what was going to come out or when. That's my opinion of why he made this statement, okay? Now, here he says, from a moral standpoint, I'll take responsibility. I never should have entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, okay? That's on me as an adult, which clearly implies that he should have had these conversations with someone that was that young, showing that it was morally wrong. He says a husband and a father, okay? Morally wrong on top of that because he's a dad with kids and you shouldn't be engaging with anybody of that age. And as a husband, because there was seemingly some kind of weird sexual nature behind these messages, right? Obviously, if you're just making a silly joke and you don't realize the age of the person on the other end and that person then tells you, I don't think you should be held morally accountable as long as you stop at that point, right? Could you say it's irresponsible? Yes, but Doc doesn't even just own up to irresponsibility here, right? He owns up to having conversations that he never should have entertained. Okay, that's a very specific word to use. So he seemingly knew that he was doing something wrong in the first place. Here he says, it never should have happened. I get it. I'm not perfect and I'll own my shit. This was stupid. Doc would then defend his character and by dismissing the claims he was a pedophile. He said, with all that said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction zone. I'm no predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand in those types of things and those types of people. So he's like, come on, you guys know me. My friends know me. I'm a good guy, right? I'm a good guy. Fuck that. There's a different level of disgust that I hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get out of here with that shit, okay? So if we're to take Doc on his word here, he says no crimes were committed despite engaging sexually in an inappropriate manner with a minor. And on that line of thinking, he could be correct. Assuming the age of the minor was 16 or 17, even if he did have sex with them, depending on where he was, he's not necessarily a pedophile based on the legal definition. you know, he's not necessarily attracted to prepubescent children, okay? That being said, the colloquial understanding of a pedophile or a groomer is anyone who is attracted to or engaging with someone who's under the age of 18. At this point, we're kind of splitting hairs, but regardless of that, I still think whatever word you want to use, I think this is morally condemnable from Doc, right? This is not someone who's 18, 19, 20, 21 years old even, right? Engaging with someone who's like 17, right? Which in and of itself, I don't think is a good thing to do. But this is someone who's in his mid-30s, okay, who is admitted to doing this at the time, right? He would have been 38 years old at the time 36 years old at the time these interactions took place, at the very most charitable interpretation based on the age of the minor and when it happened, right? Now, Doc would apologize to his peers and his community before asserting his intention of pushing through the controversy, okay? He wasn't going to let this get him down. He was going to keep going. Here he said, "Trust me when I say this. To all haters that live and breathe social media with zero real-life experience, I don't give a fuck about you." I guess that's us. "Finally, if you're uncomfortable with the entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine." He said, "That's fine if you think he's a piece of shit. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm not the same guy that made that mistake all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family, as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, right." Now, Doc being comfortable with the fact people would consider him a piece of shit is really interesting because he is acknowledging here that he did something wrong. And it seems that every statement made in regard to the situation ultimately left more questions than answers. I love your coverage. Thank you. For starters, we know Doc indeed had inappropriate discussions with a minor, but to what extent is currently unknown. What is known is that whatever happened in these private DMs was enough for Twitch, Discord, and even Doc's own gaming studio to decide it was worthy of cutting ties with him. It's also clear these circumstances of the last few weeks invalidated whatever NDA was, in place to keep Doc from speaking on the subject. So he could be more specific if he wanted, right? If the NDA is violated, he can publicly say what the fuck he did. He can say exactly what he did. He can say exactly what he said and just tell us. He can tell us exactly what he said, right? There's no problem with that. So it was very confusing as to why he wouldn't directly dismiss the claims or elaborate on key details. The most he was willing to say was that I didn't do anything illegal. But he would say it was morally wrong and he never should have entertained those conversations. Assuming that what he says here is 100% truthful, additional context and more details would only benefit his case if he didn't do anything that bad. Yet he chose to be as ambiguous as possible. Rather than dismissing his alleged plans of meeting up with a minor, he just says, "Oh, it never happened." Rather than explaining his true intentions, he ambiguously states there were no real intentions at all. And rather than elaborating on the nature of the discussions, he described them as leaning in the direction of being inappropriate without getting into specifics for some reason. Right? Why would Doc choose to say so little with so much on the line? His career, his reputation, his standing in the community. Many assume this is because the reality of the situation coming to light would have far worse consequences than his attempts to obfuscate the facts of the matter and not go into detail. And Doc would even go as far as to remove the phrase individual minor from the tweet and replace it with just the word individual, which is a decision that he would ultimately undo once he received backlash. So as a result, people began condemning him. Penguin Zero, Charlie, made a statement on the situation in his video where he was, in my opinion, pretty clear with, the public consensus, and I think he gave a pretty good take. To his credit, I'm not saying that everything Charlie's ever said is right, okay? I don't like some of the takes he's had, but this was a good take.
There are some questions we may never know the answer to.
This is the one, actually.
Wow, what a crazy day this has been. So I'm sure pretty much all of you that clicked on this video already know about what's happened with the DrDisrespect situation. To catch you up to speed with the briefest previously on Dragon Ball Z recap, DrDisrespect was the face of Twitch. In 2020, he was mysteriously banned from the platform and not a peep had ever been uttered about why. This was a secret more guarded than the Krabby Patty formula. I really thought we'd never know the reason that DrDisrespect was banned. I thought that'd be taken to the grave. I thought we'd crack faster than light travel before we ever learned what the reason behind it was. But then from out of nowhere on just an average quiet Friday night, a former Twitch employee dropped a bombshell allegation claiming that DrDisrespect was banned due to sexting a minor through the Twitch Whispers service. Now, there was never any screenshots or evidence provided to support that claim. However, some other parties came forward saying that they had all heard a similar reason behind the ban.
But regardless of that, there was zero proof until Doc responded. And here is Charlie's reaction to his response.
The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a statement. Let's cut the bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. For those that don't know, I forgot to mention this in my lore exposition on this. His company that he founded, Midnight Society Game Studio, which had been working on a game with him for a long time, announced yesterday that they were going to be terminating him after they conducted an investigation, and after they assumed his innocence, found something through their investigation that made them uncomfortable keeping him around, so they left.
Which is all true. And we'll skip a little bit to get to his final response to this big statement that he made, okay?
Want me to disappear? Yeah, fucking right. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should? You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this. These are super serious. Like, this isn't something people take lightly at all. In his own statement, he has openly admitted to messaging a minor and had conversations that were inappropriate, or as he said, leaned into being inappropriate. Now, what's not clear, and what a lot of people are coping with, is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with.
But of course, if he didn't know the age, why wouldn't he just say that?
But I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying...
Like, there were so many good defenses Doc could have had for this if he was more innocent, and instead he kept it super vague.
That he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor. I think if that was the reality of that situation, if he truly communicated with someone that he thought was of age but turned out to be a minor, I think he would have mentioned that in this statement, but he...
Obviously. And so as a result, a lot of people shit on Doc. And I think he deserves to be shit on undoubtedly. And also as a result, a lot of people decided to cut ties with him, justifiably so, because he is a, 42 now, at the time, 35, 36, 37-year-old man, had admitted to having inappropriate interactions with someone that was way too young for him to be having those interactions with. And Nick Merckx, as somebody who had, decided to wait and see what happened, posted another shirtless video where he said, fuck Doc.
Yo, checking in. I'm seeing everything on Twitter, and I read through Doc's tweet, and in that very tweet, he basically confirms that, he was texting an underage girl, and it went weird sometimes, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? There's no excuse for something like that, and I can't support it. Hang on, honey, doing this, talking to Twitter.
Talking to Twitter,
honey. I
honey.
Can't support it. I can't defend it, and look, the boys and I are torn up over it too, man, because we played a lot of games with the guy, and it feels a little weird, but what can you do, So I just wanted to update you guys on my thoughts and how I'm feeling. And look, I hope you guys have a good day, all right?
And to me, the idea that Nick Merckx is somebody who constantly is willing to shit on, whatever group he doesn't like, be very brand unfriendly, someone who's willing to call people shit like that publicly, right? The idea that this guy would drop Doc because of a brand risk, to me, is insane. I think he genuinely thought that Doc did something wrong. Okay, I think he did. And as a result, he decided to say, fuck this guy. I'm not talking to him anymore. I'm not doing strange with him anymore. This guy is morally bankrupt, right? And Tim the Tap Man would also respond.
Wow, this is absolutely insane, bro. Everything I'm seeing. I have known Doc for a while now. We've played games for years, and seeing everything that is spiraling right now.
Why are they all half naked? This is just like a genre of guy. This is like a genre. Maybe I'll be this way when I'm 30 plus years old. Maybe this will just be my thing. I don't know.
Is a very difficult thing for me personally, and I'm sure for a lot of y'all out there. I think for me, I know a lot of you are asking, Tim, what are you feeling? Tim, what are you feeling? My bottom line, I think, is if what he is saying, where he said that he was messaging a minor and it would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate, if he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent, I cannot support that. I can't. I appreciate y'all. This is beating me up, but this is unfortunate to say the least. This is awful. So
yeah, all these people waited until the last moment. They waited until, they had a response from Doc. And Doc ultimately admitted, seemingly, to the allegations at least being partially true. And they decided to say, fuck you, right? I don't want to be around you anymore. This sucks, man. But we'll get into Slasher in a bit. Doc wasn't done. He was not done with his posting about this, okay? He was not done. Now, we do have this article by Rolling Stone I want to get into. Hold on, is there an archive of this? I'm not paying for this right now. You're paywalling a fucking article about serious allegations so people can't even fucking read it and report on it, you fucking weirdos. I hate journalists. Let me pull this up on the Wayback Machine. Let me get it running, okay? Real? True, it is real. All right, article from Rolling Stone. Dr. Disrespect knowingly sent explicit messages to a minor, former Twitch employee says. 4 years after gamer, celebrity, and streaming star Dr. Disrespect 42. You're fucking paywalling it on the fucking archive? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, good thing I have this in a different script pulled up, so I have the quotes that I want to pull. Fuck this fucking stupid-ass publication. All right, I do have the quotes here. All right, so here's what Rolling Stone had to say. A former Twitch trust and safety employee who worked for the platform at the time Beam was banned and has direct knowledge of the matter, confirmed to Rolling Stone that Beam continued to send sexually graphic messages to a minor he knew to be underage. This former employee, who requested anonymity to avoid jeopardizing their career, also said the crucial elements of Beam's latest defense tweets are inaccurate. I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated this was no problem and continued on, the former employee says. There was no confusion. Messages sent after this was acknowledged were no less graphic and in sexually explicit nature than before, and I think more than the categorization of leaning too much the direction of being inappropriate might indicate. Now, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. It's a very interesting quote because Doc refuses to be specific about what was in these DMs. He absolutely refuses to be specific, right? Despite that, we have multiple Twitch employees saying that there was graphic conversations. There is discrepancies, obviously, because on one hand, Cody Connor says there was sexting and there was a meetup planned at TwitchCon. This guy doesn't quite say that. Instead, he says Doc definitely knew the age of the person. He had sexually graphic messages with them, okay? And he continued after they confirmed their age, okay? That's what he says. Now, Doc would take a break from the internet, again, as he tends to do in these situations, but he would ultimately start tweeting, teasing his comeback, okay? Now, we have this tweet from Willie Mac Show, which shows new Dr. Disrespect banner of a bobber with a piece of paper attached as the bait, referring to the Twitch contract or the DM's new info might be revealed. Now, if you look closely, this is his account, and this is the banner. I believe Willie's wrong. This looks like his statement on Twitter that he made regarding this, but he's sending it into the water, okay? He planned to come back, it seems. And he started really going off on Twitter. Use 12 foot for getting around paywalls. Gotcha. If you do the Asian eye trick, you can see better. I don't think I can. But Doc starts tweeting, okay? Here, he posts the I'm playing chess, you're all playing checkers tweet, implying that he's manipulating the world, okay? He's a genius. Here he says, vacation is just too good right now. We'll be back soon, though, champs. We have lots to talk about. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are people still streaming video games? What a snooze fest, he says. And here on September 5th, he teased his comeback with this video. It's going to an island. As you can imagine, there were a lot of Epstein Island jokes here, Little St. James jokes. Here he is once again, high energy, high production value. He comes back to his arena here, okay? And this is a teaser for him returning to stream, and he would ultimately return to stream. Now here he did put this statement saying, where's he coming from? Epstein Island? It's not a PDF. It's a PDF, not a doc. He blocked me. Let me take a screenshot and post. So he's just mocking people here who responded to him. And he would ultimately respond on stream to the allegations. It's 21 minutes long. Dr. Disrespect, full video response. Here we have a re-upload here, and we're going to take a look at this.
That's how that game's played.
Dr. Disrespect has just finished up his stream over an hour ago after his long hiatus. This video highlights the point where enough is said in his live chat that he decides to address the allegations himself.
Yeah, just keep ignoring the issue and putting up this act. God, I'm so concerned and worried about everyone else.
He's very comfortable mocking people who talk about it, okay? He's very confident on
else's problems except mine, because I'm dealing with a deeper depression and I like to project.
He's saying people who are criticizing him are dealing with a deeper depression. They like to project onto him.
Oh, champs. A lot of people donating. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it, you know?
In character as Doc, he's responding.
Are you nervous to be back? After what's transpired over the last couple months, am I excited to be back to this type of world? God. Man.
All right. Here we go, I guess.
All right, I do have a version here without this dumbass's commentary. Thanks to the re-uploader, but I have a full rip. Let's take a look at this.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know.
So here he says he had a lawsuit against Twitch.
But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations.
You'll probably notice his very confident attitude in comparison to how he was responding before. Before he was very scared seeing what was going on. He was very nervous. And now he's very confident with this new statement, this new announcement.
Cody Connors.
This is the guy who initially leaked the allegation in his tweet, who accused Doc of sexting.
Ex-Twitch employee wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point?
And I think he probably is right here if I had to speculate that Cody himself never saw the DMs. If Cody had seen them, he probably would have leaked them, but I would probably believe this idea that Cody himself never saw the DMs. So yeah, I'm willing to believe that part of this response.
This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me.
He calls him a rat very weirdly. He calls him a snitch, which typically a rat is reporting something bad that happened, but I just find the phrasing weird, but whatever. I won't hit too hard on that. It's not super substantive.
In 2020. Well, I mean, for what, Cody? Why? Did you not know the repercussions from spewing lies about the two-time?
Spewing lies.
Did you not know the repercussions of accusing me, Cody Connors? You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is?
Once again, this is a very weird response, right? Rather than saying, I did not have inappropriate interactions with a minor, I did not do anything wrong, he's like, do you even know the legal definition of sexting? Which obviously I think we would say that technically what Chris Tyson did with all those minors was not legally sexting. And that's probably why Chris Tyson has not been held legally accountable. But we would still say that Chris Tyson is a reprehensible person who should be punished by the court of public opinion.
I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word...
Here he says I wasn't sexting anyone. But once again, he won't get into the specifics of what he actually said to this minor.
Minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it.
And this is like the most retarded thing he says, I want to say, during this entire thing, okay? I'm trying to be charitable here, I guess, but fuck it. He says that I included the word minor so that journalists would pick up on it and report on it as like some kind of 4D chess move. If that genuinely is the truth, Dr. Disrespect is so retarded he deserves to be called a pedophile. That's so fucking stupid. Why, when you're being accused of a crime, would you ever make it seem like you are worse than you really are? That makes no sense. Oh, so I can own the journalist and sue them. He's not going to sue anyone. I can tell you with 1000% certainty, I would bet my fucking asshole on it, okay? He's not going to sue anyone, okay? You cannot sue someone for reporting a statement that you yourself made. Doc said, I had inappropriate interactions with a minor. Journalists report, Dr. Disrespect says, I had inappropriate actions with a minor. You're going to try to sue them for that? You will lose. You will be laughed out of court. That lawsuit will be dismissed. You will lose miserably. And I would bet that he's not going to sue anyone. I bet he's not going to sue literally a single person. Sneeko moment, what's the definition of a child? Lol.
And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
Once again, he says over the legal age of consent. Depending on where that is, that could be 16, that could be 17, that could be even lower, depending on what country they're from. We don't know any details about this minor. This person could easily be very, very young. And on top of that, why even talk about age of consent as if it's relevant if you didn't have any inappropriate interactions with a minor, right? If I'm not having inappropriate interactions with someone, I'm generally not concerned about the age that they are or the age of consent in their jurisdiction, right? If there were no real intentions, why would that even be a concern for you? He is using the most the most specific arguments ever of I didn't do anything illegal to argue that he's in the clear, while also being unwilling to fully get into the allegations and say what he said. You can guess as to why he doesn't want to be specific here. This crap here is what I was talking about earlier. Someone isn't telling the truth. Bro thinks the Rolling Stone mag side opt him. All Rolling Stone did was report on stuff other people had said. I don't love Rolling Stone. I don't love journalists. But literally all they did is report on stuff that other people had said about Doc and report about his own statements, which seemed to line up with what they were saying. And not only that, if Doc wants to sue these publications, first of all, he's going to fucking lose, okay? Because you cannot sue someone for reporting something that you publicly stated. And secondly, if he does take them to court, if he takes, let's say, Twitch to court again, or he takes Cody Connors to court again, what's probably going to happen is there's going to be a discovery phase of the lawsuit. And in discovery, those messages might come out. And if they do come out, Doc is not going to have a fun time, which is why he is not going to fucking sue them.
You didn't. Neither did any of these journalists, and neither did Twitch at the time of the ban. You also tried to tell the world that I was trying to meet up with this user at TwitchCon, but you're wrong. Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met.
Once again, he's very specific with the wording. He says, I never intended to meet this user. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon. We never met. That's what he says. Does he ever say, I never discussed plans of meeting with them? I never mentioned meeting with them. It never came up in our conversations. No, he won't say that. Despite the fact that obviously that kind of information would help exonerate him a lot. Why is he unwilling to say that? We haven't even seen the messages. He knows they're out there in legal documents somewhere. He knows they're on Twitch's servers, and he's unwilling to say, I never tried to meet up with this person. He says, I never intended. But obviously that could still mean that he had messages with them where he talked about meeting with them, and he, in his mind, he never intended to truly meet them in person, right? You should start off every new Turkey Tom upload by declaring you're a kid liker so you can get on the front page. Yeah, that'd be a genius publicity stunt, genius social experiment. Stop demonizing. He did it because he has a disability based.
Person ever. Your bullshit accusations gave false courage to other former Twitch employees to make shit up as well. I suspect all of you sort of
What's even interesting here is the fact that the stuff that these other people said, these other Twitch employees, was not 100% Cody's right with every detail. What they said instead was Doc had inappropriate messages with a minor, he knew their age, and the conversations didn't get less sexually graphic or explicit after that point. That's what they said. Cody may have fucked up. He may have not known what was going on. He may have been talking about rumors that he heard without actual confirmation. Okay, that's very possible that Cody did fuck up the story as far as the details. But Doc is unwilling to respond to anyone other than Cody Connors and what he said. He's unwilling to respond to anything that any of these articles said. He's unwilling to respond to any specific allegation other than the one that seems to be the most exaggerated version of the truth. That looks weird to me. That looks weird. Why not debunk everything? And also, why not pull up any proof, any screenshots, any specific dates, literally anything? Why tell this story in a very vague way on stream with no proof for your claims? That looks weird to me. Typically, a good response to allegations is going to involve some screenshots of some kind, okay? Why is he unwilling to do that? Muhammad-approved Twitch streamer? Lol.
Planned and coordinated this attack.
True.
These big-time publications, these journalists, these various outlets are sort of just gossip channels now, don't you think, champs?
Is it gossipy to report what Doc himself said? This is what journalists have been doing for 150 years. Somebody says, I had inappropriate interactions with a minor. The headline is, Dr. Disrespect admits to having inappropriate interactions with a minor. They didn't lie. They didn't stretch the truth. They didn't say anything they couldn't prove. I've read so many articles about this guy when researching this shit. I'm telling you with confidence, the Rolling Stone is never being sued by Doc. Is never being sued by Doc. Ever. 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 That's not happening. Doc never said sexting. Well, it's a good thing that Rolling Stone also never said, we know 1000% that Doc sexted a minor. What they said is, this is what Cody Connors said, this is what an anonymous Twitch employee that we spoke to who claims to have knowledge of the situation said, and this is what Doc said. That's what they said. You cannot sue these people. You cannot sue, and if you try, you're going to get it dismissed or you're going to get laughed out of court and lose thousands and thousands of dollars. This is a fucking, I 1000% believe Doc has no intention of suing any of these people, and he's saying this so it adds more weight to his statement. I think he has no intention of suing any of these people ever. He just wants to play the crowd on his side. Yeah, obviously. He wants to play to those people. He wants to play on the small level of speculation there is surrounding this. He's playing 4D chess, get off checkers. True. He's realizing it's hard to be a litigious groomer. Maybe.
They act like they're just gossip channels now, without any real journalism and real research happening.
Real research happening. They responded to what you publicly said. Your public statement is what they quoted. That's all they did.
They reported on all this based on leaks from two former Twitch employees. One of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are.
Well, if you know who they are, you're not under any legal obligation to not name them. Why not just name them, right? Why not just name them? Why not say specifically their names if there's no risk of that, right? If you're not breaching any kind of contract anymore because the NDA was already violated, so now you can talk about it. Why not just say their names so we know who they are, and they are then forced to make a public statement, either admitting that they lied about this shit and they slandered you, or, which would be a huge dub for you, or the more likely reality is that they're going to have to come out and validate their stuff with their real face and talk about what you did. Rolling Stones needs to research takesies, backsies based.
Actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is 1. Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting.
Okay, maybe they weren't sexting. Does that make it right? And on top of that, if you can talk about whatever happened in this lawsuit now, if you can provide proof, you can provide receipts, you can name them, why not name them? Name them and shame them. If somebody slandered you, Dr. Disrespect, publicly, why not just name them so they get public backlash? Why not take them all to court? Oh, he said he would take them to court. He's not going to. He's not going to. He's not. I will bet, okay? I will bet $1,000 that Dr. Disrespect is not going to sue the Rolling Stone or any journalist involved in this. I would bet $1,000, okay? The $1,000 will be donated to a charity of his choosing, okay, if he wins, okay? I don't think this is happening at all.
And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material.
Why not just talk about that? Why not provide proof? Hiding names better than Candace Owens base. Why not provide proof? Who could contradict you? Who could punish you for that? You know everything that happened in this court case. Why not prove that? This one he needs to show the logs or shut up. Yeah, I wonder why he's not going to do that. I wonder why. Because surely at this point the logs would look better, right? If it's not sexting, if he genuinely isn't a bad guy, didn't do anything wrong, if he can sue people for slandering him supposedly, why not just show the logs, right? Why not do that? What's wrong with that?
You'll see, Sam. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened.
Did that really never happen? Then why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you say I never did anything wrong? Because that's how he's painting it out to be, right? Why did you make your long statement on Twitter owning up to it, saying you never should have entertained conversations with a minor, saying you never should have had those conversations at all, saying you fucked up? Why not say that then? Why not say any of that then, right? Why is that? You could have easily said that. This response could have come out months ago. Why is it only coming out now?
So glad you're back. Hey, I appreciate it, Shane. It's good to be back to a certain degree, right? We got to figure out this monetization thing. So September 25th is basically when we can reapply for...
I'm very curious how that's going to go through and if YouTube is going to get him back in the partner program. I would guess not, but I'm curious.
Partnership on YouTube, you know? People ask, do I, now that you're not getting monetized, you're not going to be streaming ever again, or you're on YouTube, are you? There's an opportunity to reapply. For almost 4 years, champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension.
The doc.
I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story.
I don't understand how we missed the point, though. Like, in his personal statement, he takes accountability for doing something wrong. He acknowledges that he fucked up. He acknowledges that he's not a great person. He says that himself in plain text. Like, very clearly, he says that. Why is he not giving specifics? Why will he not get into what he actually said? Because if what he actually said is not that bad, I'd be like, oh, well, fuck these people, right? They slandered him. Me and Brandon are on a final flight to DC from South Lebanon. Love you, miss you, Tom. Love you too, buddy. Have a safe flight. Hope it doesn't get fucking grounded. Off topic, with thoughts on Nikocado having a semi-active Cameo account and his ruse not being blown. I'll take a look at that later.
Champs. You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond.
Oh, well, you can respond now, right? You can leak it all. Why not just show exactly what you said so we can know it's not that bad? Like, there would be no question about it. I wouldn't even be able to make this video. I would be posting about how Doc actually didn't do it. It's not that bad, right? Why not just post the DMs? Why not post the messages you actually sent? Does Switch delete your whispers on ban? I have no idea. When is Poop Fest dropping? It's not. I'll explain that later in the stream. I'll finally get into the India story, okay? But yeah, like why not just say it? Why not just say what you didn't do? It should be easy, right? When every other, public figures had to respond to allegations of this magnitude, they've either had to say the messages don't exist, so I can't show anything because I can't, I can't prove a negative, right? Or they do exist and here they are. Why not just show them? Why not show them and give more context and we can just exonerate you fully based on that, right? Why not do that? Oh, but Cody Connors never gave proof. Okay. Twitch never gave proof. That's true. I don't think Twitch is in a great position. I don't think Twitch did the right thing here. I don't think they acted appropriately given the allegations. But to me, that doesn't really matter because Doc himself acknowledged that inappropriate conversations with a minor happened. He didn't say, I never had any inappropriate conversation with a minor. He said, I did have inappropriate conversations with a minor. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have entertained those conversations. That's why I'm demanding proof.
And again, champs, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided you fucking...
All right. But yeah, I think that the thing with what Doc is saying here is like all this whole story about Twitch and all their fuck ups and everything, like it could be totally true is the thing. Cody Connors is not someone I want to defend, right? I have no attachment to Cody Connors. He probably is a retard. Based purely on the fact that Cody was teasing, leaking the information on Doc's band in exchange for selling concert tickets. He's probably joking about that, but based on that, I don't think that he is like a great person or the most credible source. But the problem is that he's not the only one saying this, right? He's not the only one saying this. Rolling Stone talked to someone who claims to be an employee at Twitch. Rolling Stone, I trust they verified who that person is because they're a big publication. They, have to do that. They have a process for these kinds of things. They would have had to verify who that person is, and they did. And on top of that, that person gave way more specifics than Cody did on the situation. So even if Cody was just reporting on rumors that he had heard, that doesn't dispel everything regarding this at all. At all. And everything Doc is saying could be true, but he has no proof for it either. So if you're going to say that Cody or any of these other people, Twitch employees, need to have proof, you would also think that Doc needs to have proof. And on top of that, this isn't a situation where Doc was accused and he says, I never did anything wrong. He admitted to doing something wrong in his Twitter statement. He did. You can't deny that. Now, if he wants to get into the specifics, okay, let's get into the specifics, Doc. Just show us what you said. If we were to believe what he's saying, is he insinuating Twitch banned him to get out of his contract, or would they ban a major asset for no reason? Well, he'll give more explanation for that here as his speculation.
I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles.
Defaming articles? Okay, who are you going to sue? What publication are you going to sue? Who are you going to sue? Sue them right now. Let's see it. Let's see some lawsuits filed.
Sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
The weird thing about this is that's not even how he phrases it in his original response. That's the weirdest thing, okay? Here he says, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions? The answer is absolutely not. Why would real intentions even need to be a consideration here? These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Why not just say they were jokes here? Why say they lean in the direction of being inappropriate? Why apologize? Why have to clarify that nothing illegal happened, even if something bad did go down? Why need to even clarify nothing illegal happened? Wouldn't that be assumed, right? Why apologize? Why further apologize and say, I fucked up? Why say, from a moral standpoint, I'll take responsibility? What did you do that was morally wrong? Can we know? Was the thing that you said that was morally wrong like, I'm going to fuck your mom, which is like, probably not a statement you should make to a 16-year-old, but that's it? Was that it? Or was there something more? What is going on here? Why won't you get into the specifics of it, Doc? It's very weird. It's very, very weird. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, how would each of you look if all of your private DMs, your text messages, your chats were looked at, dissected, and taken out of context by someone who's deliberately trying to find something inappropriate in those words?
I think most people would look fine because they're not making weird sexual jokes to a 16, 17-year-old, which is the most charitable interpretation that we can go with as far as the age, if we're assuming that what Doc said here is true. 16 or 17 is the most charitable age if they're technically not legally under the age of consent, right? 16 or 17 is the best age we can give at this point.
And this is not a situation where a victim publicly accuses someone of wrongdoing. That never happened here. We're talking about allegations that Twitch made against me as a half-baked reason for justifying their actions of suspending and shutting down my channel. Allegations that Twitch made without even a legal analysis of whether the whisper messages were legal!
Okay. Is legality, once again, the only important thing here? Can you not have inappropriate DMs with a minor, even if they're not technically illegal and going to get you thrown in jail? I think we all know the answer to that. Like, these platforms typically don't ban people just for committing crimes. That's not the only reason they ban people. It's not. They can ban someone for anything. If I say in my chat, okay, I can't even say that. If some streamer says something in their chat, they're on live stream, they see a message in chat from someone who says, I'm 15 years old, and that streamer then says, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you, right? That's not technically illegal. They can say that. But obviously, these platforms don't want someone who is a big, streamer with a big platform to be saying something like that, even though it's not technically illegal, even if there are no real intentions, right? They don't like that. That's not a good look. And it's also, wrong. It's morally wrong.
You see, I engage with my community. I engage with other streamers. And through Twitch Whispers, I communicate with Twitch users. Conversations that consisted of a variety of playing games and gaming politics, content creation, random stuff. This was the extent of my whispers with this Twitch user. On June 21st, 2020.
If that was it, why can't we just see it? Why can't you just say one quote of what you said? Why can't you give one quote? Maybe give the worst quote and then give it context and explain why it's not that bad. Why not just do that? Is it that much of an ask, right? To prove your innocence? I feel like it's not.
20. My ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with the Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. I'm talking no front.
Who is this guy? You can publicly name him and shame him, right? He'll get sued for showing it? Why would he get sued? He said that he can talk about the situation as much as he wants to now. Why would he get sued for showing that? He said, oh, they broke the, terms of the NDA. Twitch, speaking out, broke the terms of the NDA. Them making comments to journalists. Cody Connor breaking that, agreement. I can say whatever the fuck I want. That's why he's leaking all this information, supposedly, right? Why can't he just show it? He can't get sued for that. What could he be sued for?
Page love. You're talking about the face of the platform, right? Literally, the face of the platform. And I know Champions Club remembers this. We got zero front page love on the website.
How brutal. Wow, no front page love? Bro, you're a multimillionaire. Who gives a fuck? Why are you crying? Why are you playing the victim here? Who cares?
Was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on
Why does he keep going off topic to bring up other things that don't fit with what he's being accused of? Who cares if you had a bad manager at Twitch? It's because he's trying to paint a conspiracy that Twitch was out to get him and was willing to use any reason for it, while also, using that to obfuscate whatever happened in those DMs. That is why. That's why he's telling this entire story. To take the conversation off of whatever the fuck he said.
Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the two-time.
They can use it against you in court, Tom. He himself said Twitch can't sue him anymore. He said they broke the NDA, so now he can say whatever he wants, right? The terms of the NDA where neither party can speak about it, no information can get out. That was the terms of the NDA. He has said here, he's like, now I can break the NDA. That's why he's giving this entire story. He said, I can break the NDA. I can say whatever the fuck I want about my ban because information already got out. I can say what I want. So what do you mean? They can't take him to court anymore. That's what he said himself. He can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the two-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later,
he most likely doesn't have access to the logs. I think he probably does have access to some version of it based on, legal filings. But let's say he doesn't. Let's say he doesn't have access to the logs, okay? Why not just say what he said in them? Why not just, give one little detail about what the fuck he said in them, right? If he doesn't have access. Why not say that? Why not say, I don't have access to the logs. I can't even look at them. I didn't do anything wrong, but I don't have access to the logs. Why not say that? He never says that. Instead, when people say, can we see the logs? He insults them and calls them childish.
That ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence? The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. I'll repeat that sentence one more time just in case anybody missed that one. The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch, but this
wow. So the child involved didn't see anything wrong. That is literally the argument he's making. Well, this individual minor, which, was technically over the age of consent, they didn't even see a problem with it. And it's like, yeah, oftentimes they don't. That doesn't mean anything wrong didn't fucking happen. That doesn't mean you didn't do anything wrong, you weird fucking guy. You weird fuck. In my opinion, this is more of a self-report than anything else he said. I don't see how his chat isn't even talking about this. Oh, well, the girl said it was okay. Bro, yeah, that's the fucking point. When you groom a fucking kid, they don't know. That's the point of grooming. They don't realize what's going on because they're a kid. They don't get that anything wrong is happening.
Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged.
Once again, he won't even say, I never talked about meeting up with them. He won't say, I never gave the idea that I meet up with them. He's like, we never physically met. Why would the idea of physically meeting even come up? He's not accused, keep in mind, of meeting with this person ever. No one's ever said that. He's accused of trying to meet up with them or making some kind of statement to them about wanting to meet up with them. He'll say, oh, I never met up with them at TwitchCon. I never talked to them about meeting up at TwitchCon. But he won't say, I never talked about meeting up with this person at all. Why is that? Why is that?
On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's Special Operations Team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. That would have been the end. That should have been the end. But that partner manager, oh boy, did he had it out. He had it out for the two-time. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the Whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a multi-year, a big-time arbitration, okay?
Let's see here. Whack MB in chat calling you out says, no receipts and no issues with tons of receipts with Mr. Beast and crew and Tom can't put it together. Lol. Dude, you're fucking retarded. The difference with Mr. Beast is that we have a very limited amount of information, okay, regarding that, okay? And by the way, I have not been uncritical of Mr. Beast. I'm very critical. There's certain things I'm unwilling to say that I, can definitively say, because they've never responded. We don't know what their fucking side is. Doc admitted to having inappropriate messages. The point is not that, oh, well, there's no proof with Doc. There is proof. He said he did something wrong. He said it publicly. He said it. This is not the same fucking thing. Way more info than Doc just saying. No, there's not. Actually, there's not. And you're a fucking retard.
And, you discover a lot of...
Whack. Put your Discord in chat. I will debate you live on the air. Let's do it.
Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. The LER analyst cherry picks and sends a few targeted excerpts out of context from the Whisper messages to this director. Now, if you do this, you can make anyone's messages look inappropriate, even when they aren't.
Okay, well, if they're not, just tell us what you said. If they're not inappropriate, just tell us what you said. Like, what did you actually say, Doc? Can you just say that publicly? Why not? If you can make anyone's DMs look inappropriate out of context, DMs which you previously said publicly were inappropriate. You said you had inappropriate messages with an individual minor. You said, I did that. Why not just talk about it? Why not just say what you said? Why not just describe it? What's wrong with that? Like, here he's implying that there weren't inappropriate messages when before, fucking months ago, on Twitter, he left a long explanation of how it wasn't appropriate, and he feels bad for it. Like, what the fuck does this even mean?
Within less than 1 hour?
This video only makes sense at all if you literally take away his prior statement. With his prior statement, it makes everything he's saying here look retarded, and now he's saying, oh, I said it for bait. To sue journalists. Yeah, good luck.
This LER analyst
Thank you, Elijah, for going to remember.
Made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report.
Wow. So, once again, you reiterate the fact you didn't do anything legally wrong, which I'm not even disputing at this point. Nobody's disputing that. You say you didn't do anything legally wrong. Okay, maybe you didn't. I still think you're a fucked up guy. What you admitted to is that you're a fucked up guy, okay? You admitted to having inappropriate messages with a minor that you shouldn't have entertained. That's enough. That's enough for me to fucking hate you, you weirdo. Opinion on the new female singer for Linkin Park? I don't know. She's all right.
As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting.
Okay, that's entirely possible, Maybe it didn't constitute sexting. Maybe that's the truth. Can we see the messages? Can we just see it? Can we, see that? Why can't we see that? Does it constitute sexting? Okay, could it still be bad? Yes, obviously, even though it doesn't constitute sexting, it can still be bad. Nothing that Chris Tyson did technically constitutes sexting under any definition of the law or colloquially speaking. Chris still did really weird shit with minors that needs to be called out, right? What does this even mean? What defense is this? 1, time to cut, little bro. 2, I have suspicions you and your merch line are sponsored by the Open Society. You cannot chill with the gooning triggers. It has to stop now. Even though you're a gooner, at least you are not a champion. Thank you for the 50. All true.
The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate.
But once again, how would the messages being illegal have such a heavy weight on your ban? Most of the time when streamers are banned, it's not for breaking the law, right? Like, compare this to any other allegation that's ever been made and see how insane all this sounds. Most of the things Twitch has banned people for, like Aiden Ross, okay, have not been for him committing a crime, except for him being like a shithead on stream or being controversial, and they ban him, right? What does this have to do with anything? Once again, this is totally obfuscating from the real story here, distracting from the truth so we can get away from it. Navy veteran here, big fan. Keep up the amazing work you put into content. Just bought the merch XXL pump cover for the win. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Good luck in the Navy. Or you're a veteran, I guess. Good luck not being in the Navy.
Terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received.
Once again, why would age of consent even be a concern here? If the messages weren't inappropriate, why would the age of consent even be a conversation that we're having? It's a really weird thing to bring up, don't you think?
Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's fucking unbelievable!
He's fucking spurging. He's so mad. He's so mad, bro. Keep raging, retard. Thank you, Dom, for becoming a member. Thank you, Maybe, as well.
I'm not going to get into every detail regarding my legal case, but these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. So then why did...
But, like, even if they weren't illegal, who fucking cares? Okay, they weren't illegal. Yeah, we know that. You weren't charged. You're not in prison right now. I don't give a fuck. They could still be wrong. They could still be wrong. It could still be a bad thing to do, which you admitted to. The most you were willing to say in regards to this shit, genuinely, was, well, they were inappropriate, but they weren't illegal. I was never charged. And it's like, okay, then what the fuck did you say? What did you actually say that made Twitch want to ban you? What did you say?
Why did Twitch use these messages against me? Why did Twitch treat the doc so differently from their other streamers? I mean, outside of the obvious. I mean, just take a look at me.
This is where he gets into the, he plays more into the character of I'm lit Chad or whatever. And then he also is like, well, I'm a base guy, okay? I'm a base guy. I was disrupting Twitch. I'm not like the other streamers. That's why they banned me.
Unfiltered. The realest motherfucker in this industry. 6'8", gorgeous, athletic, successful, college degree, college athlete, bourbon business, gaming studio, beautiful family. And trust me, we've worked hard.
Wow, such a beautiful family, and yet you couldn't keep yourself from cheating on your wife, okay? And then further entertaining conversations with a minor that you yourself characterize as inappropriate. Wow. Such a beautiful family, such an amazing career, so many accomplishments, and you still couldn't stop yourself. You fucking idiot.
For over a decade to improve as a...
I'm banging my head against the wall with the fact people bought this crap Doc said. Anybody buying this, I think it might genuinely be a low IQ individual or just doesn't have all the facts. Maybe people who watch this response haven't even seen videos about it. Maybe they haven't seen documentation. Maybe they haven't seen this prior response. I could, if I didn't know anything about Doc and I just watched this with no context, maybe I could have been like, oh, that's crazy. Maybe that's true. But like with everything else I know, there's no way I can come to the conclusion this guy is completely innocent of anything. Thanks for the donut, Slime Beast.
A person, a husband, and father, and to get where we're at today. I mean, I'm in such a good place today. And all these people, they all act like they're just so perfect. I'm not perfect.
Yeah, we know that, buddy. How much money for you to do a mukbang review of the Wendy's Krabby Patty meal when it comes out? I don't know. Maybe I'll do it on stream. It'd be funny. Tom being too harsh or making too many assumptions without facts. Hey, Schnauzer, genuine question. If you believe that, do you want to have a chat on stream about it and outline to me how I'm wrong? I'm down. Let's have a chat.
I don't claim to be perfect. Sometimes I do. But I also didn't do all the shit that they're saying I did. But then that doesn't make a story, right?
Talk about India first. Jump off a bridge.
They wanted media attention.
In Minecraft.
The media wants controversy. And by sensationalizing all of this with big, inaccurate headlines like sexting and sexually explicit, you all got what you wanted at the expense of the two-time. The reality is they wanted to cut down the doc. Plain and simple. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned.
Horrendous acts. All right, guys. Right, horrendous acts. I'm curious. I'm excited.
Example number one, a streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent.
Don't say it. 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 Don't fucking say it. Don't 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 say it. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's whatever. I'm fine. I'm not gonna say it. Fucking base? Who cares? Who cares? Oh, horrendous act. He said the N-word. Bro, first of all, why even bring this up like it fucking matters, okay? Oh, he said the N-word. Is saying the N-word comparable to allegations of pedophilia, you fucking freak? As if you even care about that? You probably think it's funny. Who gives a fuck?
Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his contact was a violation of Twitch's policies.
Also, who is this, like a white guy? Is this a black guy? Who the fuck is he even talking about? Who cares? Who gives a fuck?
Ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies.
Okay, maybe Twitch is inconsistent with their ban policy. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think we've seen that, clearly. Who fucking cares, though? And why even use this example? He said the N-word. Why not bring up an example where Twitch saw allegations against someone that were credible and decided not to ban them? Why not bring that up? Wouldn't that be better? Guys, what's worse, saying the N-word on stream or contacting a minor inappropriately? I think we know which one that is, Felix.
Why wasn't I called into?
It's definitely the N-word.
Into a meeting.
Well, probably because saying the N-word is not on the same level of having inappropriate messages with a minor. Guy beam.
Why wasn't my intent taken into consideration, champs? Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract.
Who is he even talking about here? Who is this? Who is this? And once again, don't you think discussing the idea of these things, okay? Were they saying, I like to fuck dogs, I like to fuck kids? Is that what this person said? And then they got a multi-million-dollar contract? Highly doubt it. I would guess instead what happened is that they discussed those topics on stream and they ultimately weren't banned because you can discuss controversial topics. It's talking about Vosh. Vosh wasn't given a multi-million-dollar contract with Twitch, so how could it be Vosh? Vosh was never even given a contract with Twitch. He was just signed and he could make money. He was not given a... He's saying that somebody was signed with Twitch here for a ton of money. It doesn't make sense that would be Vosh. Doesn't even make sense. And Bosch was also banned on Twitch years ago, I think, for saying he wanted to glass Israel. So Destiny was also never given a Twitch contract. He had a partnership with Twitch. He was never given, when he says Twitch contract, what he's denoting there is somebody who's like given money by Twitch to be on their platform, which they have done with a few people. Does Dante's have a Twitch contract? Isn't he just a partner? I don't think he has a specific contract or multi-million. I don't think Dante's makes multi-million dollars on Twitch at all. Who is he talking about? Guess you're going to defend a different guy you don't know, but you'll try and guess who. I'm not defending anyone. What I'm saying is I don't know who the fuck he's talking about, and I also don't know the context. Doc could easily be taking whoever this is out of context. I have no idea who the fuck he's talking about.
Example number 3. Streamer was reported for a sexual...
Kind of like you in his situation. Jeannie, do you disagree with me? Do you want to have a conversation on stream about it? Considering we have no proof? Well, do you want to have a chat on stream about it? I give my position plenty of times. Doc's unwillingness to talk about the specifics makes me think he definitely did something really bad. But let's have a chat. You want to get into the specifics? Well, we can confront each other's arguments live on the air in front of each other. Let's do it. I've given my justifications like 100 times in 100 different videos about Doc and why I think he's guilty. Let's have a chat. Jeannie, are you there? Hello? That's why removing the Discord was a good idea. Well, most of the time when I would bring someone from chat into the Discord, they would have nothing to say. Or it wouldn't even be the right person. Why would that matter? We have no proof in your opinion wouldn't make that change. I think it definitely could. I think I could demonstrate that you are retarded. The thing is, you say we have no proof. That's not exactly true, though. From Doc's own statement, he had inappropriate messages with a minor, which he is now walking back here. Doc himself apologized for having inappropriate interactions with a minor. Why would he do that if he didn't do anything wrong? Why? Please justify that to me. Why would he apologize? Why would he apologize for entertaining conversations that were inappropriate with a minor? Disrespecting his wife. Why would he apologize for that publicly if he didn't do anything wrong? You have to admit the tone of this and the contents of what he's saying are very different from what he said prior in that deleted statement. If somebody is accused of fucking a dog, okay? If somebody's accused of fucking a dog, let's say, hypothetically, okay? And their response is not, I never fucked a dog. Their response is, I had inappropriate interactions with that dog. Now, was there anything illegal? No, but I'll still own up to my actions. I had inappropriate interactions with that dog. Would you not be like, that guy seems fucked? Even though we don't have any proof. If the person themselves admits to wrongdoing, would you not say that's interesting? Would you not say that's clearly evidence something's going on? Especially when they're unwilling to talk about these specifics. When people say, what'd you do with that dog? They say, oh, I can't get into that. It's been probed and settled, though. I didn't do anything illegal. This is a retarded line of argument. Jeannie. Okay, I don't know.
Actually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract.
Smago says send Discord or ban. You don't have to ban them, but if they're going to, say this, like these very vague statements and not really justify themselves, like, why not just have a conversation about it, You don't got to ban them, though.
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my...
What about it is obvious, though? Like, you make this giant claim about this conspiracy at Twitch. You criticize others for not having proof. You simultaneously acknowledge the fact that you can say whatever the fuck you want about this case now because the NDA has been broken. And then you decide to just give this long-winded story about conspiracy at Twitch. The thing is, this could totally be true. But even if this is true, I still want to see those messages. Whether or not Twitch acted the best, which I would guess they probably didn't because they haven't acted the best in the past. Why not tell us what the fuck you said?
My contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this, too. Huh.
The chats could have been racist, homophobic, not sexual. Why not just say that? Why not just say that? If he made a racist joke, why not say that? And why also criticize someone else for saying the N-word? The thing, okay, you're telling me that it's reasonable. I'm sorry, I don't know if you're actually, maybe you're joking, but this is an argument I've actually seen. You're telling me the argument is Doc gets accused of having inappropriate sexual conversations with a minor. And his response is not, they weren't sexual. I just made a racist joke. It's reasonable that his response would be, oh, I had inappropriate conversations. But what he meant is that they were racist and homophobic. Dom says, here's the thing. We can make a reasonable conclusion something happened based on the fact he's so unwilling to talk about it. The people not doing so are trying so hard to make it seem like he can do nothing wrong. But it's not even the fact that he won't even talk about it or talk about what happened specifically. It's that he will on one hand acknowledge publicly that he did something wrong, and then he won't even say what he did wrong. He won't actually say it. I'd rather get called racist or homophobe than a pedophile. Yeah, obviously, because one of those things is good and based.
The doc's termination lines up with...
Due to legal proceedings, it could have been that he couldn't make any hard specific claims like that. Well, he already said the legal proceedings are void now. He said the NDA is void, which is why he's saying all this shit, right? Clearly, it's void. So why can't he get into the specifics of what he actually said and expose Twitch? Expose Twitch for taking his messages out of context and banning him erroneously. Why can't he do that?
Two preferable, profitable, and expensive streamers.
And if they did do that, then why the fuck is he not back on Twitch?
Leaving Mixer. As soon as Twitch knew that Mixer had failed, and go look at the timing. These other expensive streamers needed a new streaming platform, so Twitch rushed through its decision to terminate the two-time.
What? Why would they rush their decision to ban you when you weren't even fielding contracts with them? Were you fielding a contract with another streaming site? Can you say that? Is that why they banned? Like, what does this even mean? What the fuck does this even mean? You're making Twitch money if you're on Twitch. If they found out you were fielding a contract with another site, why not just say that? You can say it now, right? It's all been legally probed and settled. He's literally just saying, here's this bad thing I did, but let me bring up other bad things to downplay the situation. He's still in the wrong. Well, it's not only that. Previously, he's willing to acknowledge he did something wrong. Here, he's saying he did nothing wrong. Not only legally, he's saying morally he did nothing wrong. And he even brings up the age of consent, which is a weird thing to bring up when you say you did nothing wrong with this minor, right? Maybe it was an argument and he said S my D. I mean, maybe, but why not just say that? I mean, that would be a decent, that'd be a decent explanation. He was like, oh, it was just a joke. I fucked up. That's all that happened. Why not just say that?
You see, I shouldn't even be banned from Twitch. It has affected us on so many levels. Back in 2020 and now in 2024. And Cody?
Like, someone in chat makes a good point. If the context of these messages absolve him, because previously he said, oh, I didn't do anything, previously in his Twitter statement, he said, I had inappropriate messages with a minor that are inexcusable. Okay, that's what he said. Basically verbatim. If the context of these messages, as he's saying now, would absolve him, why not provide the context and provide the messages so we can all see that he didn't do anything wrong? Then he's got everyone dead to rights. He's got everyone dead to rights. He can show that people took his shit out of context, that Twitch banned him falsely. He can show that these journalists are full of shit, intentionally or unintentionally. He can destroy it all. Why can't he just show that? Why can't he just show that?
Connors, I just have to say it again. Why would you do this? Like I said, this was handled professionally.
He can't provide the messages legally. You keep missing that. He can. He said himself he can. He said himself he can provide anything he wants legally in regards to this case. The reason he's saying he didn't give this story previously is that the litigation and the NDA he signed prevented him from talking about it. He openly says at the beginning of the stream, he can now talk about whatever he wants regarding this case, including all this information, because the settlement contract was breached. So now he can show whatever he wants. He said it's over. He can show any message he wants. He can show anything.
Years
and
ago.
He refuses to. So that's not an explanation. It's simply that he doesn't want to show it for whatever reason. He doesn't want to show what is in those messages.
No fucking wrongdoing. But because of you, Cody, we just lost. Fuck, man. Unfortunately, we have to lay off people from Midnight Society.
And this is kind of weird. Here he's saying he's still with Midnight Society somehow. He's not taking a step back, seemingly, when previously they said he was, which is weird.
Because of you, Cody.
Because of him? Is it because of him? The situation never would have happened if you didn't have those messages, Doc. But if it's really Cody's fault, why not just show what you actually said so we can see that you were slandered by Twitch, defamed by Cody Connors, defamed by these journalists? Why not just show that? Everyone will be back on your side. Your gaming studio will be doing better than ever. This is very confusing. He's saying we have to lay people off. Is he still a part of it? I thought he was taking a step back. I thought he was gone.
You know, through all
his tweets to the individual have to walk the creepy factor line. I would guess they do. I would guess because from everything he said, he's like, they're not illegal, but he refuses to show them, right? My guess is that he didn't do anything illegal genuinely, but they're bad enough he doesn't want anyone to see them, in or out of context.
all this, we are where we are.
Thinks he's a master chess player with a deflection muddying the waters. I didn't sex a minor, but I'm sorry if I did. That was dumb. I didn't, though. And look at these people that did worse stuff. Yeah.
And like a fucking man, I'll accept it. What I don't accept is sitting quietly by and let these idiots attack me with false accusations. No.
False accusations. Okay.
For all these doc haters out there, too, oh, man. The ones that project and project and project and project and worry about everyone else's problems, right? I can't understand that mindset.
Once again, when you're being accused of a serious crime and your response is stop worrying about other people's problems, that's really weird. That's not a normal thing to say. Like, yeah, obviously people are concerned about the fact that you're being accused of being a pedophile. If someone is legitimately a pedophile, would you say, oh, worry about other people's problems? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? What are you saying? Yeah, people are obviously concerned about child safety. Children around the world is something that people are concerned with. They don't like to see any child, whether it's their own or someone else's, being abused.
I could care less.
He says everyone's DMs are bad. Are we all pedos now? I think he's genuinely projecting because he thinks that this is how everybody talks.
We've always stayed in our lane, but somehow, some way, these people, they just get in our lane. For all you doc haters, I'm sure you'll dissect all of this and still find a way to publicly criticize me. Do what you need to do. I'll say this isn't for you. This was for my team today, my community, my friends, la familia that have supported me. And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize. All I know is that I never did what Twitch, Cody...
If it was, I apologize. So why is there confusion here? Why is there confusion here when in his prior statement he said, I had inappropriate messages with a minor? Why is he confused here when before he was so sure? Why would he delete that prior statement? I don't know.
Connors, or the public is claiming that I did. That's it. I'm not saying anything more about any of this, right? Unless I need to, because trust me, I have more I haven't disclosed.
Yeah? Unless you need to? I'd say you need to. I'd say you're a fucking weirdo, bro. And now, honestly, if I was somewhat ambiguous before, his unwillingness to actually talk about what he specifically said is making me think that the DMs are way fucking worse.
I just want to get back to what we do best. Put on a show and climb our way to the tippity top of the mountain, man. In our own lane.
Tom, hypothetical, just food for thought. What if it's jokes, but super political, incorrect jokes, like hypothetical doc spamming the N-word messages? It's not sexual, so inappropriate. The thing is, if that is the case, like, why would he not just say that? Why would he not just say that? Because then that would seemingly absolve him. Also, why would saying the N-word to a minor versus saying the N-word to an adult, why would that even be a greater concern? Right? Unless the minor's like 3 years old and black, why would that even be a concern? Like, if you're joking with someone about politically incorrect takes, but you're then accused of being a pedophile, why would your response not be, I didn't have weird messages with that person, sexually speaking, I made some off-color jokes about race? Why would you not say that? Why would you not say that? That would absolve you. Because then people will be like, oh, well, he's kind of controversial, he's kind of base, but he's not a fucking pedo. But he won't, like, that's retarded, I'm sorry. That's impossible. NDAs are not always simple on voiding and saying whatever you want. Signed 1 year with a big tech company that had part of not even being able to acknowledge his existence except to law enforcement. He's still guilty AF. The thing is, even if that is let's say that is the case hypothetically, why would he not say that? Why would he not say, well, now I can violate part of it? Why would he not say that? I mean, seemingly here, he's violating the NDA by talking about, like, in a giant way, by talking about the entire substance of what happened. So why can't he just prove what he's saying from the court case?
That's it.
Lamau, you're a retard. Guys, you don't get it. Shungite Shaman set him up with the Team Cutie. The taller you are, the lower you fall. There's nothing we can do against this coup. Shungite equals black. Black pill stays undefeated. It never even began. So true and based. Remember, he's a groomer, not a loser. Based. Thank you so much for the 50 Shadow Kitten. I work graveyard shifts, so I can't stick around. I'm glad I caught another live. My first introduction to you was Chris Chan. That's funny. I think it's probably a lot of people's first introduction. Gotta go to chemistry lecture. Have fun poop maxing. Good luck in chemistry, bro. Good luck. All right. So there were some other funny clips from that stream. Nick Diorio posted one of the funniest moments in my opinion, which is after his official response where somebody was asking to see the actual messages. So I do want to bring up this clip real quick.
Show the message. Release the messages. Show the messages.
What are we in second grade?
What are we in second grade? He says. Very weird way to respond to that, I will say. Anyhow, as a result of Doc's response, People who are low IQ and genuinely retarded, or people who just don't know what the fuck is going on, took what he said as gospel and started giving a lot of people shit, including Nick Merckx, who ended up tweeting about the situation, because he started being given shit, people saying he was a bad friend. So Nick said, this retard Dr. Disrespect is married with children, pushing 40, admits to texting a minor inappropriately. His words, not mine, so I cut ties, because obviously that's inexcusable. Now, I'm a shit friend for not having his back, bunch of brain rot morons on this app, which I think is a good take. Because Nick did what you're supposed to do with allegations. He waited when it wasn't proven, when Doc hadn't responded, he waited and didn't say fucking anything, okay? And then when Doc publicly admitted that he had done something wrong, then Nick dropped him, finally. And this person said a real friend would have called him and texted to him, man to man. And Nick here said, I've said multiple times he sent a text to the boys and I apologizing for us being dragged into it. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Don't you think if Doc thought he hadn't done anything wrong, he would just message them and be like, hey man, I'm being accused of a lot right now. It's not true. Don't you think he would have said that instead of texting Nick and said, I'm sorry for dragging you into this. I fucked up. Don't you think he would have said that? And if Doc thinks that Nick is being a bad friend, why wouldn't he just post those DMs of him saying to Nick, I'm not guilty of everything they're accusing me of? Why would Doc not just post that and show it? These people are fucking morons. If you're mad, you're an actual fucking moron. You're a retarded person. You cannot be saved. But like, this is so fucking stupid. People mad at Nick Merckx are so fucking stupid. And this is not the only dumb take coming out about this. Here's what Melanie Mack says, okay? I don't know a lot about this person. I see her. She's like a pick-me girl who says the F slur on stream a lot, or maybe on Twitter. I don't know. I just find her cringe, but I don't really know a lot about her. But she said, Dr. Disrespect handled that really well. Innocent until proven guilty. And thus far, there is no proof. At this time, I see no reason not to believe him. Are you fucking retarded? Do you have no knowledge of the situation? Did you not read his prior response? He literally said he did it, referring to his prior response. What color is your knob? Bright red. He said he made off-color jokes. He didn't say he sexted anyone. Clearly, the investigation also showed that was not the case as well. Well, then why would he apologize if he made off-color jokes? Dude, typically when someone is falsely accused, their immediate response is fucking anger, is objective anger at the situation. It is not, guys, I really fucked up. I never should have entertained those conversations with a minor. And why would he even bring up age of consent? He was proven innocent. It's the Twitter mob who wanted him to be guilty. What the fuck are you talking about? Proven innocent? He didn't prove his innocence at all. He went on a 20-minute diatribe about bullshit that was unrelated to the allegation. Completely unrelated. Was not even a part of the accusation against him. It's the Twitter mob who wanted him to be guilty. What the fuck are you talking about? Are there people who are mad at him because he likes Shungite and David Icke? Yes. I don't give a fuck about that. I think it's funny. If Doc doesn't like trans people, funny. Epic meme, okay? I don't give a fuck about that. I just care about if he was messaging a kid inappropriately, which he admitted to doing. He admitted to doing it. Doc lives in Cali. Consent law is 18, so even if the person's legal in their state, but not his, doesn't make his argument flawed, makes him a pedophile. I mean, maybe legally speaking, yeah. The thing is, if the person was 18 years old, okay, let's say, oh, well, this age of consent in Doc's state is 18. So, you know, he's cleared. She was 18. It's like, okay, let's say she was 18. Why would he not say that? Why would he not say she's 18? Because that'll make it way less bad than if she was 16 in the public's eyes. That 2-year difference would make such a big difference to the public eye. Why would he not just say that? But this is not the only person, okay? Keemstar has been having I don't know if he actually believes what he's saying right now. I don't know if he's just lying because he's farming interaction, but whatever the case, Keemstar's being so fucking stupid about this shit, and it's insane. It's insane. Doc is streaming in front of 170k concurrent viewers, and there isn't a single mention in the chat of his controversy. Very odd. So that's his first response, okay? And yes, there wasn't a single mention because he was hiding it, okay? He was hiding people from saying that because he had it on sub-only mode. People who have subbed for like 13 weeks. Then Keem tweets, Doc is innocent, wild as fuck. Keemstar, you've been following these allegations just like I have. You've followed every step of the way. How can you come to the conclusion he's innocent? How can you ever come to that conclusion ever? What? What about what he said changed your mind? What proof did he provide that changed your mind? Where before you thought he was guilty and now you think he's innocent? The best part about that Twitter mob comment is that the low intelligence heirs of the internet want to be innocent so badly. It's just like, do these people even know what the fuck is going on? I cannot understand how you can see everything that happened in this case and come to the conclusion he's innocent. If maybe the only information you have is from his response, maybe that could be justified. But if you're then going to say he's innocent, it's like, I'd say irresponsible at the very best interpretation. Irresponsible, unresearched, retard shit at the best interpretation. If you've seen his response and you haven't seen the other shit and you're saying he's innocent. Doc defended himself really well. Twitch has some explaining to do. What do you even mean by that? How did he defend himself well? What did he provide that was good proof for anything? Tom's aggressive, dude. I'm aggressive because people are so fucking stupid around this shit. And nobody has provided one single argument that makes any sense as to why he's innocent. Nobody. The arguments as to why he is innocent or why he didn't do anything wrong or why he's telling the truth only make sense if you haven't seen his other statement. If you haven't seen his other statement, maybe you can come to that conclusion. If you have, there's no way you can ever come to the conclusion he did nothing wrong. It's like, it's actual insanity. Let's see this take. This guy, the Cyber Wick. Data error. Rebooting Visor Cortex. Militant Fury 6 reporting for duty. Dead drop variant. Says, everyone's asking Doc to show the whisper messages, but no one's asking the accuser to show anything. Guess a lot of people are just trusting this Cody guy. Absolutely twisted. But this is like the most retarded thing ever. Because Cody's not the only accuser, first of all. There are other anonymous Twitch employees who confirm this to be the case. He's not the only accuser. If it was just Cody, whatever. But it's not. It's not at all. Also, asking the accuser to show anything. The actual accuser is a girl, presumably, who was a minor at the time, who probably doesn't want her identity to be known. And she probably shouldn't be blasted by the entire internet. She probably shouldn't be blasted by the entire internet with her identity out there. Because then whenever you look up her name, whatever the fuck it is, okay? Rachel Edwards, whatever the fuck it is, okay? Just made up a name there. When you look up whatever her name is, it's going to come up with Rachel Edwards groomed. This person's name groomed by DrDisrespect. Okay. And also, people are just trusting this Cody guy. Is this guy in the replies points out, I mean, it doesn't get clearer than this. He admitted to inappropriately messaging a minor. Legal or not, dude is a creep and deserves every ounce of hate, hatred, and disownment. True. And he cites the response where Doc says, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor? Yes. Were there real intentions? No. These were casual, mutual conversations that leaned in the direction of being inappropriate, okay? This fucking retard says him admitting to messaging a minor was for a journalist to grab and run with. That makes no fucking sense. That is absolutely retarded. That is the most retarded explanation I've ever heard in my life. The fact that you believe that shows that you're a fucking moron. When you're accused of a crime, your response is to admit to it, and you think you can then sue a journalist for saying what you said? Are you 10 years old? Genuinely, are you 10 years old? This is so fucking stupid. There is no reasonable explanation. Explain what the point of a journalist running with you being a groomer is, and what universe is that something Doc would want to prove that the so-called journalists are nothing but garbage individuals. How are you proving that a journalist is a garbage individual? How are you proving the journalist is a bad person when you're accused of a crime and you admit to it and they report on it? What else are they supposed to anticipate that you're doing this retarded 5D chess move? No, that makes no fucking sense. That makes no sense at all. It's a social. You're a fucking moron. You realize you cannot take someone to court for that. You're gonna lose. The journalist, all they did was report what he said. Are you serious? The Rolling Stone isn't credible? So you think that the journalists who reported what he said publicly, that's all they did. They didn't say Doc is a pedophile. They didn't say Doc fucked a kid. They didn't stretch the truth. They reported what Doc said. You think that makes them uncredible? I'm not defending everything that the Rolling Stone has ever said, okay? You think he's going to be able to take them to court for that? It's his own words. They reported his own words. Do you think that the Rolling Stone lied about having talked to an employee of Twitch? Do you think they lied about that? Because if they did, he'll take them to court and he'll win. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. To be honest, I need to look up their article again. But this is the thing. Like, you say this shit. Like, you know, and you fucking don't. Fernando, you say this shit. And so many people are speaking with authority on this as if they've looked into this, and they fucking haven't. Doc never said he would sue them. He heavily implied it, and a lot of people seem to think he's filing a lawsuit against them. Like Cody Connors, because a lot of people were like, he's going to get sued. Cody Connors said, what kind of lawyer do I need when I'm definitely not getting sued? And I believe he's not getting sued at all. Cody's such a loser. Imagine lying about this stuff. The ones that handle defamation, punitive losses, and damages. Lawyer up. Sooner rather than later, you're going to need it. Promise. This won't age well. Keep trying to be cool. Dude, to be honest with you, I don't think that Cody Connors is being sued at all. I don't believe it. I don't think he is. Release the messages, Cody. He's calling you a liar. Prove him wrong. Did you even watch Doc's video? In Doc's video, he literally fucking says, in Doc's fucking video, he literally says Cody Connor never saw the messages, so how could he release them? Cody Connor is a retard who should not be respected, but I do not think he's being sued by DrDisrespect at all. You think it could be multiple? Destiny theorized and speaking to Slasher that could be the reason journalists don't say the age? I don't know. Maybe that's possible. Maybe there are multiple girls. I have no idea. Or boys. I don't even know the gender. Doc was messaging a trans individual, so maybe he's gay too. I have experience with offenders and victims, dimwit. This isn't hard to figure for me, given the facts we have. Lol. Okay, well, thank you for your experience with offenders. You're retarded. Whoever employed you should be fired, and so should you. I hope you lose your job. You realize also for Cody to be sued, let's say Cody did get it wrong, okay? And I think he probably did get it wrong because I don't think the Doc actually sexted a person. I think he had inappropriate messages. I don't think he was like, I'm gonna fuck you so good, okay? That probably didn't happen. But let's say that he did get it wrong. You realize for a defamation lawsuit to go through, you either have to prove actual malice, which is that the person knowingly lied, or a reckless disregard for the truth, which means that they should have known that the information was bad. If Cody Connors was told by someone, okay, that Doc sexted a minor and he said that, that's technically legally not defamation. Like, the excuses, the arguments people are making are so fucking dumb, dude. They're so fucking stupid. They're so dumb. They're so dumb. Every argument I've seen in defense of Doc has been so fucking stupid. The only defense that works is if you don't know everything about the situation, haven't seen all this shit, okay? That's the only fucking explanation that works. If you know everything that happened here, the only reasonable explanation is that Doc has something to hide. The idea that he baited the world by saying that he was a pedophile into reporting that he was a pedophile, and then now he's going to sue them for saying what he said. The idea that that is a reasonable thing for anyone to do, or that that is his intention behind anything, is retarded. It is retarded. Cash me up. I cannot do that. I cannot. I've been streaming for 4 hours. I'm sorry. I got kind of heated, but genuine. Like, this is just, actually, I'm not sorry. These people are fucking idiots. Fuck them. You're a fucking moron. Debate top source. Who's top source? Top source, you want to have a debate? Top source in chat? He can sue them for damages. He lost a lot of money that's easily provable. You can't just sue someone for damages, though. You need to have proof that they lied, too. He was vindicated. The police investigated and said he did nothing wrong. Can't say anything outside of that. Okay, hey, top source, you want to have a conversation? Top source, do you think that just because... somebody wasn't found legally liable, that they did nothing wrong? Top source, let's have a combo. You're very confident. Please, let's do it. I will not take you out of context. I will not debate bro you. I will have a genuine good faith conversation in which we will just talk about this. Let's do it. Stop hitting the galaxy gas and come on stream, bro. Tom, you should look at the Rolling Stone article regarding Doc. It mentions the sexting allegations. I did look at that on stream already, yeah. You realize you can mention allegations and not be sued. For Rolling Stone to be sued by him, they would have to have lied, and they didn't do that. Come on, top source. No, not going to come on? All right, well, the offer's still open. Ugh. Why did they all dip? Smaggle, are you banning them or something if they don't respond? I don't see a ban message in chat, so I don't think they've been banned. Thanks for helping me through my dad's surgery. Hope your dad gets better soon, bro. Give him a big hug for me. All right, well, I don't know. Doc could just be lying about the police thing. The thing is, I don't think he is, because if he was lying about the police thing, then there probably would be some kind of police record somewhere. I don't think he's lying about that. If he was, that'd be so easy to call out. I think what he's doing is being just careful enough that he can get away with plausible deniability from people who don't know the situation. That's what I think he's doing.